Hello, welcome back to Rana. My name is Beast, and today we're back with the fruit of Grisaia. I always say fruits of Grisaia. I'm going to kill myself. Ah!
As we've been through before, it should really be a plural, but it isn't.
Anyways, I have some very nice cherry wine today, as well as Doritos.
And I have cookies, but I'm gonna lay off the hard stuff for now.
I'm also not actually going to open up the Doritos now. I'm not going to be sitting here during the recording like, oh, mom. I have previously in the past.
Monster in the background.
I would eat during the recording if I had cheese. But I don't. Which is sad.
Yeah, or indeed somebody else's dialogue where we don't need to do anything at all.
Anyway. On dark nights, it's not uncommon to mistake foliage swaying in the wind for the movements of a sinister human form. If you're alert, you'll understand rationally that it's just an illusion, but your senses feed off that instinctive twinge of terror, transforming the rustling of the leaves into the whispering of a demon. To the shrub or tree in question, this quirk of the human mind must be irritating. They mind their own business, spent their days earnestly assimilating carbon dioxide into igneous tissue. Ligneous tissue? I don't fucking care.
Igneous. Igneous is a type of rock.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. And this is the thanks they get. But the plants don't get the worst of it. There's nothing quite as obnoxious as the way people push misconceptions onto their animals. All too often, pets are treated more like receptacles for the selfish delusions of human beings than companions. What if every pet in the world suddenly gained the ability to speak? Chewie would probably keep screaming at us to finally give him food, even though we just fed him.
Yeah. Like cats generally.
He'd follow us into the kitchen. We decided we already fed him, so we just pet him. He'd just scream at us, "I don't want pets! I want food, bitch!"
Yeah, it's kind of like I was actually at the pub earlier on today with getting lunch, as you do, and of course the pub cat naturally came up to me and eyed up my fish suspiciously.
Oh lord.
Standard.
Yeah. Anyways. I'm sure their owners are dying to hear their thoughts, but sometimes ignorance is bliss. It's difficult enough to come to a real understanding between fellow humans. How much harder would that be when one party is an animal? Believing in the fantasy that our pet's love us back must be more pleasant than facing that reality. By the way, we should probably mention that Bud isn't here just because he literally did not show up an hour after we decided to meet up, so we're just assuming that he is indisposed.
Yeah.
He has been neutralized. If he shows up later, he shows up later. An erotic voice out of place in the peaceful sunshine. In the past, Japan relied heavily on row housing apartments. With thin walls and noisy neighbors, having sex in your own home could be surprisingly awkward. But as a result, inns aimed especially at couples sprung up, eventually developing into the famous love hotels. And modern housing circumstances usually allow for much greater privacy at home. In conclusion, having sex outdoors in this day and age is less likely an attempt at consideration towards your neighbors and more likely an attempt at getting an additional thrill. We've got a pervert.
I should point out that in the uncensored version of this game, there is a line in this... there is a line in this particular section that involves the phrase, al fresco fucking. And I love it.
What the fuck?
So funny.
Fuck?
It's in the censored version.
Oh, it's probably this line as well, since it's normally
Yeah,
I'm not in the habit of criticizing other people's fetishes, but screwing al fresco carries far higher risks than an amateur might expect. It's a highly unsanitary business. Like, it's probably, but fucking al fresco was replaced with screwing al fresco.
Yeah, it would have been. I still fell in love with the original line though. They should have left it.
Yeah. I mean, like, the idea behind it has not changed at all. Wife changed the phrasing from fucking to screwing. I don't have the slightest idea who might be fornicating here, but I should really tell them off for their own good. Hey, idiots, did you at least put down a blanket? I've been expecting a half-naked couple tangled together, so I'm surprised to find Matsushima Michiru all by herself. Let's see. So you weren't a mere tsundere after all. You're, in fact, sexually frustrated, perverted tsundere. I'm actually relieved in a way. You may be twisted, but at least you found a path to follow. Keep at it. No, your head seems to be on relatively straight today.
Relatively.
Listen, I'm telling you that I have respect for your deviant spirit. You're a first-class pervert. She looks like a fucking Digimon with those eyes.
Or somebody has drawn on her face while she's asleep and she's just woken up.
Or that. Glasses can be a pain in the ass. What else would you call someone who gets off outdoors without a thought to their surroundings? Huh? It appears I may have misinterpreted the situation. Of course, there's a good possibility she's deceiving me out of sheer embarrassment, but I'm a kind enough human being to sympathetically pretend otherwise. I see, sorry. Well, either way, I'll pretend not to have seen this. Alright, let's say it was rehearsal for a play in which you're attacked by a hoodlum. Your mouth keeps saying no, but your body says yes. Sound about right? Okay, so your body keeps saying yes, but your mouth keeps saying no. But your mouth says no. What? Isn't it tsundere supposed to give in right away?
I'm grateful for the fact that she has some self-respect in this case.
Either that, or she was so stupid that she didn't even consider that angle.
Yeah. That's probably more true, but you know what? I want to think the best for her.
Well, I'd heard that a tsundere is a woman who says no when she means yes.
Genuine life lesson with Matsushima Michiru.
I see. The tsundere is more complex than I thought.
That facial expression just makes me think you're a natural born twit.
I mean, she is.
Yeah.
Twit and twat.
Yep. I wasn't gonna go that far, but...
Piece of cake, huh? Boom.
Boom!
What? What? Huh?
Oh dear. I think the TLs may have made a slight goof there.
Possible. By the way, what's that black bushy thing you've got hidden there? Got rid of it. Look to your left. This time Michiru seems to have misunderstood some, so I point to her side. There's some sort of black lump of hair partially visible.
This is why I was so keen to keep cat chat going.
The lump of fur stretches grandly, revealing its identity. It was, in fact, a small black cat. The black cat curls around Michiru's legs, purring loudly, like your average rotund house cat. It's a bit scrawny, and its hair is dirty and shaggy. Did you really follow you? It's more like you carried him here.
なんでそういうこと言うの?
Cats don't follow people around unless they're very used to human company. Can't imagine an animal that's careless enough to casually follow some random blonde around would survive long in the wild.
勝手についてきたのよ。本当だもん。
You bribe it with food?
してないもん。
In that case, maybe it followed you instinctively. Maturity might be a factor.
ちょっと待ちなさいよ。誰が乳臭いって?
Skaki.
榊か。それで、この子を元の場所に返さないとって思ってるの。寮で飼うわけにはいかないでしょ? 協力してくれる?
No. Why do I have to play house with you? Do it yourself.
あんたさ、女の子には優しくしなさいって言われなかった?
I was taught to be nice to them in bed, probably. Anybody? Like who?
誰にって、誰かによ。誰にだっていいけどさ。わかった。私が言う。今あんたに言ってあげる。女の子には優しくしなさいよね。
No.
それはないでしょうね。
You can handle a single cat on your own. There's nothing for me to help with. If you were in serious trouble, I'd lend a hand, but you shouldn't rely on others for every little thing.
あんたって冷たいのね。信じらんない。アンビリーバボらんない。
Baboon.
バボーン。
Fuck. Up, someone's playing Monster Hunter World. Probably, I mean, at least that means that their Steam account isn't hacked anymore.
Oh, they suffered a hack recently, did they?
It's a while ago at this point. Like, essentially got hacked, and then the person using the hacked account messaged me and was like, "Oh, sorry, got a hack issue and accidentally reported you, so you need to talk to this Steam admin to know." Because when I told them to take back the fucking report, they said I needed fucking proof to take back the report, so it's not the hacker trying to take back the report or something. And of course that was just a fucking scam. Like, the person in question did not expect that I had contact to the person over on Twitter.
So much for that.
Alright then, you put that thing back where you found it, bye.
待ちなさいよ。せめてこうなんかないの? もうちょっとこう優しげなあれはないの?
I don't know about Yuji, but my personal reaction to seeing that cat would be a very firm, "You're my child now."
You know, I never thought of Michiru as a cat lady. Only until now. Only until now I've ever thought, come to terms with the idea.
We have a cage out, like in front of our front door now.
Oh?
Yeah, because did I already talk about the two cats that have been living in our garden?
Oh, is this to stop them getting in?
No, the cage, it's a trap.
Oh.
Because on Monday, they're going to be brought to the animal shelter to, snip.
Yeah.
So we don't get any more kittens in the fucking garden.
Oh.
Since both of them are female, so we'd be the one that are stuck with that. So we've just decided to put both of them under the knife. And so we just have the fucking trap sitting out front. And we're told, okay, so from now on, only feed them inside the trap.
Well, it's going to be kind of necessary, really.
Mm-hmm. Like the adult, like the mother has already goes in there to eat. The child does not. The child is clearly smarter than that. Anyways. You're really hopeless. Very well, in recognition of your empty head, loose morals, and general incompetence, I'll give you a hint.
ありがとう。
Are you aware that cats hate certain scents? Citrus in particular. If you have some like that, it'll drive them off in no time.
うん、それは知ってるけど、どうすればいいのやら。あ、私のシャンプー、クレープフルーツの香りなんだけど。
That's it. In other words, your twin tails are soaked with cat repellent. If you dangle them in front of that vile black feline, there's no doubt he'll flee. Alright, this mission is designated the Battle of the Bulge. Cat edition. Engage the enemy at once.
どうやって？猫憎くないけど。
As of this moment, I'm designating that plastic ornament on the right side of your head, Alpha, and the plastic ornament on the left, Bravo. First, get Alpha in front of the cat.
プラサグがかか
Shut up and move! Alpha forward, attack!
ります。こう。
I remember this from the anime.
She looks adorable.
Yes! Right face!
キュイーン。
Now quickly rotate. Support unit Bravo to the front. Alpha, take rear guard.
シャシャシャシャ。
Good, the target's losing his will to fight. Finish him off with Charlie.
待って、何？急に出てきたチャーリーって誰？
That tuft sticking out of your head, obviously. Begin vibrating it at once.
これがチャーリー？えい、ブルブルブルブル。
Describing Michiru
With
as a child
feeling!
would be more accurate.
Sorry, describing her in what?
Describing Michiru generally as a Charlie would be more accurate. Sorry.
More like a moron.
Old-fashioned English
A
expression
bumbling fucking idiot.
For those adjectives of which you use now.
None of those were adjectives. Those were nouns.
Nouns. My mistake. Must be off my nut. English fail. Such a wonderful thing. Oh, another person playing games.
Warframe this time. I do not remember this person, actually. There's so many people in my fucking Steam friends list that I do not remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone's been watching my old Giniru Haruka, not Giniru Haruka, Hoshiyori Mirai videos lately.
Mm-hmm.
And they got to the finale of Rika Route, so I was forced to die of diabetes again. Mm-hmm. Remind me, did you ever play or watch Hoshiyori Mirai?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay. Did Blood?
I don't know if Bud has.
Because like I want to do a co-host on that. After this.
Uh-huh.
Like my plan currently is one Grisaia game, another co-host, one of the second Grisaia game, another co-host. So the second one is immediately going to be Hoshiyori Mirai Perfect Edition.
Uh-huh.
Because and the quality of the old videos isn't that good anymore. There's also no like straight up no fucking webcam.
Yeah. So you want to update them?
Yeah. That was the entire reason why I started the co-host thing in the first place, after all. So one of the co-hosts is likely going to be Wagamama Spec. Anyways.
ブリブリブリブリブリブリブリブリブリブリブリブリにゃーお。
Mission
This,
failed,
ladies
we'll
and
get him next time.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is the face of a task failed successfully.
乗ってない？
Ah, I get it. Sorry, inside joke for Germans, probably don't get it. Do you know Takeshi's Castle?
Yeah.
There is like one episode, because there was like a German version of it, quote unquote, as well, and I fucking adore that announcer. Yet I can never find any fucking recordings of episodes with that specific announcer. Only like another German one that's like infinitely more boring, because that man is essentially treating it more like a fucking sports commentary.
As in a bit more legitimately,
Yeah.
albeit only a bit. Unlike Craig Charles, who was an absolute champ at the commentary for the
Yeah.
English language.
Like, the one I'm talking about is literally like Great Charles, but in German.
That sounds brilliant.
It is! And, for one of the qualifying rounds, they essentially have had their hands tied behind their back and had to grab, like, pieces of bread with their mouth. And one dude, like, got down onto his knees to help, as he already had his bread, but there was one girl that was, like, one woman that was too small to reach, so he just got down onto the ground so she could step onto his back and grab it. And the fucking commentator just like, ich versteh's, sie steht auf ihn. And sie steht auf ihn can literally be translated as she's standing on him. However, sie steht auf ihn can also mean she has a crush on him.
Or more accurately, in this particular case, she's crushing him. But then again, she strikes me. It sounds like she's very lightweight.
Yeah, and yeah, that will always stay in my fucking in the back of my mind. That one. I need more Takeshi's Castle in my life. Like, I remember as a kid, I really wanted to take part in that at one point.
You really don't want to do that.
Yeah. Like, how many fucking injuries are there on Takeshi's Castle?
Yes.
A lot.
That's
Actually,
how
hold
many
on.
there are. Yes.
Now, I'm fucking curious now. Let's look this up.
Is that this episode title? Takeshi's Castle.
Castle.
Injuries.
Not Indonesian injuries.
For some reason, I've got mental images of Michiru taking part in it and somehow winning. Suffering no injuries at all.
There's a question, has anyone ever died?
I don't think so. I think with the Japanese being risk averse, I think they want to avoid that pretty desperately.
In 2004, a website called Takeshi Mania published an injury list. The publisher admitted that he had fabricated the list in an effort to make a little fun. In truth, there were few to no major injuries reported in the show.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. Fucking Takeshi Kitano was a goddamn mad lad anyway. Like, have you fucking read up on the kind of shit that Takeshi Kitano takes part in, and what he has done?
I haven't at all.
Well, let me get the fucking list. Okay, let me just change that to English. So, also Takeshi Kitano, also known as Beat Takeshi in Japan, is a Japanese comedian, actor, and filmmaker. While he is known primarily as a comedian, TV host in his native Japan, he is better known abroad for his work as a filmmaker and actor, as well as TV host. And he's also apparently dabbled in like fucking poetry singing, fucking video game making. Like, what the fuck hasn't he done?
Well,
he's written books as well, apparently. Like, the man has literally decided, is it an art form? I'll fucking do it. Anyways, he is indeed.
he must be bored of everything if he's constantly doing things.
この状況を見て何か言うことは
They two look cute together. Analysis complete. Abnormal perspiration, animal on head. I've eyes like a dead fish. The above 3 points conclude my observations.
違う事態が悪化したことへの謝罪とかないのってことでしょどうしてこうなった
Because your head looked comfortable?
そういうことじゃなくてこ これ追い返すどころか馴染んでるじゃないの。
True, the operation has failed. Retreat!
解散しちゃダメ。責任取りなさい。
I don't have a ring ready. God, your heart to please. Guess I'll have to bring out my trump card. Hold your current position. I'll go get a bucket of water.
ちょっと待って。今なんて
I'm getting a bucket. And water.
なんでそんなことするの。あんたよくそんなひどいことできるわね。
Cruel thing. Did you think I was gonna dump water on the cat?
じゃあ何するの。
Sit on the bucket, drink the water, and take a break.
入っちゃうのよ。そんでお水まで飲んじゃうの。バカなの。
Did you just make light? Water breaks.
Also, drinking out of a bucket? What a pig.
No, he said put the bucket on the ground to sit on it.
Yeah, but he needs to drain the water first.
Well, yeah, probably in a fucking water bottle.
Like
Not in
a
the bucket.
straw, yeah.
No, it's probably not in the bucket. It's in the fucking bottle, probably.
Yeah, true. I admit I didn't make that summation at the time.
Maggot, are you underestimating the horrors of dehydration? By the time your body's asking you for water, it's already too late. Regular, moderate fluid intake is absolutely crucial.
いや、分かってますから。その部分をバカって言ったわけじゃないよ。だから、熱く語らないで。
Oh, sorry. Couldn't help myself. Well, then I'll be getting that bucket, so stand by.
待機しない。この状態を早くどうにかしなさいよね。これじゃあ猫かぶってるってみんなに言われちゃうでしょ。
You like me, Charlie?
You know what? No, this isn't a character improvement. The shoe fits.
うさい。
No, seriously, it seems to have taken a liking to you quite a bit. If you want to drive it off, maybe sprinkling water on it really is the best option. You do want to drive off the cat as soon as possible, right?
そうだけど、でもそんなひどいこと絶対しないで。
It's just a stray cat, so I think I can. I'll get the water.
ダメだってば。猫ニャがかわいそう。あ。
Kitty meow.
言ってません。そんなこと言ってません。
Even the fucking cat's calling bullshit.
そんなことより早くこの子をどうにかしないと。
Right, splashing water from a bucket it is then.
それは絶対にダメなの。猫にどう。この猫がかわいそう。何よ。
Hachi.
There's you.
Is that his name?
何が。
Is that the name you gave the cat?
だから何がよ。
I'm asking whether you gave this animal that ridiculous name. Answer me!
違います。そんなこと言ってませんし、名前なんてつけてません。もう何よ。
Bummo.
ブモモー。で、さっきからちょいちょいなんで変な言葉を言わせてるのよ。
She's noticed.
Oh, you caught on. I noticed this habit you have of repeating short phrases. I was experimenting to see how far you'd go with it.
勝手にそんな実験しないでよね。こっちは頭の上に動物乗ってて忙しいんだから。
Guess you could say that you have a cat on the brain. I'm gonna kill myself now.
Slow clap.
Push you.
プス。やんないもん。
Almost.
Intriguing. By the way, that kitty meow of yours has been licking your Charlie vigorously for a while now.
にゃっぷにゃっぷにゃっぷにゃっぷにゃっぷにゃっぷ。舐めないで。私のチャーリーを。
Shall I drive it off?
お願いします。でも水はかけないでね。それはダメだからね。
Understood. Alright, here we go. As I take my first step forward, the cat leaps off Michiru's head and runs off somewhere. It's a bit anticlimactic, but I've fulfilled Michiru's request. And yet Michiru's glaring at me in apparent displeasure. You'd almost think she didn't really want me to scare the cat off. Good for you, he ran off.
ありがとう。
You don't look particularly happy.
そんなことないもん。ああ、せいせいしたわね。猫にまとわりつかれるなんて本当にうんざりしちゃう。私、どっちかっていうと犬が好きだしね。
Where's my gun? As Michiru speaks, she gazed fixedly in the direction where the cat disappeared, her expression wistful. That's a shame.
そうね。残念じゃないわよ。猫うざい。超うざいんですけど。
That aside, I'd consider thinking a little harder next time.
何をよ。
The name Kitty Meow is a bit,
猫いなくなってスッキリスッキリ。さあもう今日は何して遊ぼうかしら、ルルルー。
Even as Michiru spits out those strange words, she's walking off in the direction the cat disappeared. She's clearly gotten attached to it. Why hesitate to admit she's fond of the thing? Why not just be honest about it? Or there's something else going on here. And again, expecting a deeper reason from a girl who'd named a cat Kitty Meow might be a little too optimistic. And as mysteries go, that tra-la-la is, as she left, also qualifies. Although it seemed like nothing more than a bizarre shriek. Perhaps it's a special cipher that will reveal a coherent message when parsed with a certain algorithm. I don't think so. A moment of myself in self-derision. Es ist Nacht, senorita. Oh, don't tell me. Habits are persistent things. Even when your circumstances change, they tend to stay with you. Take meal times, for example. I eat at 7 in the morning, 12 in the afternoon, and 7 in the evening. You know the time, you know how full my stomach is. My sleep patterns are even easier to understand. Unless I'm working or have something to do, my eyelids naturally grow heavy after 10 p.m. and I'm asleep by 11 p.m. at the latest. Even if I don't set an alarm, my eyes open on their own every morning. And usually find the clock reading 4:45 a.m. After spending 15 minutes half asleep in bed, I slowly rouse myself and apply the eye drops I keep cool in the refrigerator. Next, I drink a bottle of oolong tea, replenishing the fluids I lost through sweating in my sleep. A quick check of the weather outside my window, and I change into my sweats and head out for my daily run. These are more rules than habits for me at this point. Today, as usual, I alternated jogging with wind sprints, responding to the echo of the drill sergeant's whistle inside my head. At this very moment, outside my empty dorm room, a far from routine incident was beginning to take shape. I was heading back to my room after my run, planning on a quick shower and some breakfast, when I noticed something unusual. Suamine was skillfully moving her slippered feet down the stairs, careful not to make the slightest sound. The instant I saw her movements, precisely those of an agent on an infiltration mission, I instinctively hid myself in the shadows. I'm now watching her every move. Suamine, that woman. Could it be? There's a cold, sticky sweat on my forehead, and it's not the product of my daily exercise. Am I her target? Amine is holding a key in her right hand. Glancing cautiously around her surroundings, she moves to my door. She takes great care to unlock it with a gradual, silent movement. Just as I thought, it's my room. Consult my watch. It's still early morning. There's only one reason to sneak quietly into a man's room at this hour. Assassination. I don't want to believe it. I want to believe that Suamine is an agent working for some unknown organization. But now that I think back, there were a lot of things that didn't make sense. She was aggressively friendly to me from our very first meeting, even showing a hint of embarrassment and pushing herself onto me. Yet she never showed any particular interest in my past. So convenient is that for me. A lack of interest in my past makes sense if she'd already received an overview of my background. At a glance, she's just a typical horny big sister role player. But that could be a front hiding a killing machine. A woman who takes lives as naturally as she draws breath. I hadn't read her that way. It's probably because I let down my guard. Unbelievably sloppy. If my master was alive, she'd knock me on my ass for this one. A convenient woman like that is obviously too good to be true. But even as I reproach myself, my chest is burning with bitter sadness. Oblivious to my silent regret, Hamane eases my door open and begins to inch her way inside. Hamane speaks in a whisper, probably a safeguard against the possibility that I've woken up earlier than she expected. When there's no response, she continues to move into the room. I quietly follow, concealing myself in the shadows to avoid alerting her to my presence. Of course, she finds my bed empty. Hamane looks around the room quickly, and after a moment opens the door to my bathroom and pokes her head in to continue her search. What exactly was she planning to say if I'd been taking a shower? Say what? Wait a second, so did you seriously sneak in here for that idiotic? No, hold on. Would you have noticed my presence? This is all just a massive farce. Suamane, you're one hell of a woman. Right, well, let's see just how long you keep up this little act. Mind your own business, I'm working on it in my own pace. They're going in the laundry later anyway. I was gonna finish that after my run, okay? She's finally ready to lay her trap. Or not, Amanda picks up the bottle and starts to gather my scattered clothes from the floor. For some reason, Amanda unfolds the clothes in front of her face and buries her nose into them and begins inhaling their scent. Suamane, are you a dog? Dogged fellow. Or rather, bitch and heat. Are you a pervert, Suamane? Hey, what now? Why are you staring at my bed? Also, wasn't she like in the anime wearing her uniform during the scene?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Throughout this entire time, I should point out that I have a shit-eating grin on my face right now.
The only reason I don't have a constant shit-eating grin is because I have to read the fucking lines. Wait, you don't tell me. Yeah, yourself! Did you seriously just jump onto my bed? And now she's pressing her face into my sheets and sniffing loudly. Don't stick your face in my bed. Don't shake your ass around. Don't stick your face in my bed and shake your ass around. This girl really is a dog in human form. If you press your nose against the covers and inhale over and over, of course you're gonna get lightheaded from lack of oxygen. More importantly, this is what I think it is. If I'm reading this correctly. This woman is, in fact, a horny big sister role player. Allow me to correct myself. This woman is, in fact, a sex-crazed maniac big sister role player. Drunk on the man stink that's apparently lingering in the bedsheets, Amina wriggles her body, breathing roughly through her nose. By watching her shameful display, I feel more relieved than anything else. At the very least, there's no assassin, this stupid. Now I think this over calmly, there's no way anyone would arrange such an elaborate assassination for me. A traffic accident would be more economical, and the cleanup after the fact much less troublesome. All that suddenly ridiculous tension I've been filled with leaks out of my mouth. At this point, I finally notice that I'm very thirsty. Moving relatively quietly, I open the door to my fridge and retrieve a large bottle of sports drink. Twist the cap off and drink directly from the bottle, gulping down a mouthful of cold liquid. As the chill soaks into my parched throat and the electrolytes course through my strained body, I realized just how worked up I'd been over nothing.
そんなとこダメ。
Within her fantasy, she apparently begun to reach a hand towards. I've apparently begun to reach my hand towards Amina's underwear. She's very concerned about this for some unclear reason. At this rate, I'm gonna get a real show for free of charge. What to do? Maybe the gentlemanly thing would be to go back outside, then noisily pretend to return. With that thought, I decided to return my drink to the fridge. But just as I separate my mouth from the 2-liter bottle, the liquid inside sloshes around vigorously, making a surprisingly loud sound. Unfortunately, that sound shatters Amina's delusion just as she's begun a slow, inviting wiggling of her hips. She springs up out of the bed, her eyes wide open.
ユージ君
There's no time to hide. I'm standing there with a sports drink in my hand, staring at Amina, and she's staring right back.
いつから
For a while now.
だからそれっていつからなのかな。どのあたりから見てた？
If I honestly tell Amina that I saw the whole thing, she might be hurt. Maybe I should be considerate and tell her I didn't see anything, but at this point that would be too barefaced to lie. So the middle ground would be to say I only saw the last part? Let's see, I think there was you can't, Yuji-kun, or maybe stop restrain yourself. What's wrong? You're sweating like crazy. Want some of the sports drink? Already took a swig, just so you know. Is?
黙って見てるなんてひどくない？
Why? Should I have sung a song to help you get in the mood? Her legs buckling underneath her, Amina drops to the floor with a thud, covers her face with both hands, and breaks down in hysterical tears. Look, I'm the one who should be screaming here. Coming back to your room to find a woman wriggling around in your sheets, I don't remember learning an appropriate response to this particular scenario.
There is one.
やだ、私もうお嫁行かれへん。
Look on the bright side. At least you noticed me before you started rubbing my pillow between your legs, right?
何の慰めにもなってないわよ。
Hey, Amina! Amina pushes past me and runs away, screaming, still hiding her face in her hands. Although from the state of her ears, I can infer that it's bright red. What am I supposed to do with this woman? It's hardly that big a deal. Apparently, I'm the only one that thinks so. A good hour later, it's time to go to school, but Amina's locked herself in a bathroom and shows no signs of emerging.
おーい、あまねー。どうしたのよさ。
Whoops, fuck.
違うの。そっとしておいて。下痢なの？アメーバ赤痢なの？違うの。今は一人にして。じゃあ逆に出ないの？詰まってんの？違うってば。私のことは放っておいて。ああ、ごめん。もしかして生理？お薬持ってくる？
I hope it's not, because this pillow is probably fucking red by then.
That would not be good.
Very bad.
だから違うんだってば。え、じゃあまさか来ないの？もしかして踏んでるの？
Martin is such a dope.
違うって言ってんでしょが。
Well, the exact details aren't any of my business, but it seems that Makina's persistent siege eventually convinced Amina to leave the bathroom.
まったくもう、あまねーのせいですっかり遅くなっちゃったのよさ。もう走らないと遅刻なのよ。だからごめんってば。
Don't be too harsh, Amina has her reasons.
ごめんね、お兄ちゃんにまで付き合わせちゃって。ほら、あまねーも早まりなさい。ごめん。
Don't worry about it. It was almost my fault in a way.
つうか、あんたのせいでしょが。
Who's the one who snuck into his room?
っていうか、何があったのよさ。
I'll tell you when you're a little older, Makina.
話さなくていいから一生黙ってていいからお願いだから
When she gets past 20.
You can practically see the question marks floating over Makina's head as she tries to get a grasp on the situation. Meanwhile, Amina seems to be trying to get through this by force of will alone. The three of us leave the dorm and begin to run towards our classroom. What's wrong, Makina? If you fall behind, run!
私走るの嫌いなのにだから何度も謝ったでしょ
Alright then, Makina, I'll teach you a wonderful song that makes running more enjoyable.
歌何それどんな歌
It's called a running cadence. At my old school, we sung these all the time when we had to run. Repeat after me, got it?
Oh no.
So ominous, a bitchin' heat!
そうマネはいいんだんだ
Rolling around... I'm not actually gonna sing that. Rolling around
know,
in the man's
thank
bed
goodness.
sheets. Because I don't know how to fucking sing this to the same tune. I guess rolling around in the man's bed sheets. I don't fucking know.
Some other cadence to it, but let's not go and mock militaries the world over.
男のベッドで身もだえるちょっとその歌
Also, I'm just gonna... Get him start shitting the bed so you can guess that I took a screenshot.
I got a free view of that. Got a free view of your background for a second.
Actually, what background was that?
It was
Oh, Connor.
yeah.
Fucking look at that
the name.
precious little thing in the middle. Fucking adore Mashiro. Best girl. Good for you.
Good for you
Good for me.
Good for me
Good.
Good
I think she's taking psychic damage.
なんで面白いじゃんさ
Wasn't that? This is like the fucking musical version of Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
It is kinda, isn't it?
Well then, shall we take a leisure walk and sing some nice nursery rhymes instead?
それこそやめなさいシャレにならないわよ
Although I'd been considerately trying to turn the whole incident into a joke so that we could laugh it off together, things didn't wrap up that neatly. Makita enjoyed the cadence call more than I'd expected, and when she got Sachi to join in a loud chorus during PE class that day, our classmates naturally started asking about the lyrics. Amina's response was to hang her head deeply and vaguely mumble, I don't even care anymore. The smile on her face that day was truly hollow. So ominous, a bitch and heat!
せっかくみんなで遊ぼうってことになったんだからユミコも参加しなさいよ
I was waiting for that fucking scene. Anyways, the moment I leave my room, I'm met with a shrill voice from the lobby.
私はそれを決めた場にいなかったものそれでもたまには全くしょうがないわねって言いながら参加してくれるのが優しさってもんじゃないたまにでいいなら今日は参加しなくてもいいってことよねもうガグあんたはまた人の揚げ足取って
From what I can gather, Michito's trying to drag Sakaki into some sort of group event. So, do those two dislike each other after all? I ask Amina, who's watching the fight from the sidelines to clear up a point of confusion.
仲が悪いってわけじゃないと思うけどほらお互いの性格がね
It's still weird that she's got like fucking 3 straps over her shoulder.
You still can't get over that.
Yeah. Like there's the bra, and then for some reason her top has like 2 spaghetti strings.
Yeah. Mind you, for her chest, she's gonna need them.
I mean, does she really need 2 of them? She just needs a solid bra. I see. Michiru tries to bring things together as everyone's leader, while Skaki avoids excessive contact with those around her. It's only natural that those 2 would come into conflict pretty frequently.
それに、この年になってまでおままごとを楽しむ気はないわ。あんたね、いい加減にしないと、私も本気で怒るわよ。そう。それなら私にも考えがあるわ。
There would be a certain comedy if, like, Michiru just absolutely kicked ass. Like, she's like, oh, feel free. Tries to fucking intimidate her like the edgy little bitch she is. Currently.
Oh, you're coming towards me.
And Michiru just fucking, like, full on disarms her and just pins her to the floor. What was that, you bitch?
It's just a scene from Upgrade. You've not seen Upgrade, have you?
I have not.
Right. It involves chip implantation and, well, a chip that, not artificial intelligence chip that rather has the urgent desire to live. It's actually a good film. It's the only film with a bad ending that I actually like.
別にそんなの全然怖くないんだから。
Judging from the way she isn't backing down, even with that box cutter in her face, Michiru's gotten a little heat of herself. Should we stop this?
そうね。二人が言い合うのはいつものことだけど、そろそろマキナも怖がり始めたし。
I look down to find Makina hiding behind Amina's back, watching the scene fearfully. Like, Yuji should just do the fucking Toru thing. Just walk up to, just walk up to the fucking... Yumiko, thank you. Names. Just walks up to Yumiko, just grabs the box cutter by the blade, just breaks it off.
Just snaps the whole thing in half. Just...
I mean, that's what fucking Toru did in Sakura. It's just that instead of a box cutter, it was a solid knife.
Yeah.
Like, just cleanly broke the blade off. And just took it with him. Like, he somehow broke it off and closed the knife without them noticing that he broke off the blade, and just left with the blade still in his fucking pocket.
If
you want, I can try to calm him down.
それなら大丈夫。私たちには大魔神がついてるから。
Demon Lord.
じゃあ、さっちゃん、お願いね。わかりました。
So the fearsome demon lord, or rather Sachi, slowly advances towards her prey. You crazy? Sachi's obviously not cut out for this role.
やっぱそう思う？
No offense to Sachi, but when it comes to stabbing and arguing, I think you'd be more effective on it.
普通はそう考えるわよね。でも、実際は違ったの。
There's a president.
そう。あれは、ユージ君以外のみんなが揃ってすぐの頃だったと思うけど、その時も今と同じようなことが起こって、最初は私が止めに入ったんだけど、結局二人は言い合いをやめてくれなかった。それで藁をもつかむ勢いでさっちゃんにお願いしてみたんだけど、そしたら
She pulled it off.
しかも私やマキナが驚くくらいバシッとね。あの時のサッチかっこよかったのよさ。
It's a lot to swallow, honestly.
それはこれから起こることを見てれば嫌でも納得できるわよ。
Seeing is believing, is it?
みちる様、榊さん。何よ、サチ。今私ちょっと忙しいんだけど。私も話なら後で聞くわ。あまねさんにお願いされているので、それだと少し困るというか。そ れより早くその物騒なものをしまいなさいよ。
ならそっちが先に考えを改めてくれる？
私は二人にお話があります。みんなが困っているので喧嘩をやめてくれませんか？やだなあ、サチ。私たちは別に喧嘩してたわけじゃないわよ。ねえ、榊さん。
ええ、そうね、松島さん。
What the heck is that? She just asked him, and she did a crappy job
で
of it.
も効果てきめんでしょ。
True, the wind has completely gone out of Michito's and Sakaki's sails.
きっとサチ、二人の前でブチぬわーって顔してるんだよ。どうして広島弁出た今？
You see, so it is the nature of her demonic powers. Hey, Michito. Seeking further details to capture Michio as she tosses away from the scene.
何よあんた、こんな突然。
Don't worry, this is sexual assault yet. I'm asking for about something else. Why did you stop arguing just now?
あんたはまだ本気のサチを見たことがないからそんなことが言えるのよ。
Such as a serious matter.
そう、よく目で人を焦がすとか言うでしょ。
Kill, not throw. Kill. I've heard if looks could kill at least.
そうとも言うやつ。サチのあれはまさしくそれよ。
In other words, when Sachi needs to, she can fire a glare powerful enough to kill.
その通り。しかもあの目は間違いなく10万馬力は出てるわね。
Michiu continues to mumble to herself as she sits down on the nearby sofa.
やっぱり私、小峰さんが一番苦手だわ。
Sakaki, for her part, is unusually pale in her face.
これが一見気の弱そうなさっちゃんがクラス委員を任されている理由。ここには個性の強い学生が集まってるから、いざって時みんなに言うことを聞かせられる人間がいないとまずいじゃない？
That's a very nice way of saying gathering of people that have more character defects than people. Like Yui would have like SAO Bridge Yui would have a field day here. Like that's the entire reason why in SAO Bridge Yui goes to meet Asuna and Kirito, because despite every single one, despite everyone in the game being depressed beyond measure, for some reason there were two people that were happy, and when she went to investigate who they were, they resembled more a rough cobbled together mess of character defects than people, and all her calculations told her that one would end up killing the other before they even slightly started to get along. Yet somehow they fell in love and got married. So clearly something's fucking wrong. I stand by the fact that SAO Abridged is a better show than SAO.
So I thought you would.
Because it's the truth.
Oh well.
Anyway.
No surprise there.
で、それができるのは私じゃなく、さっちゃんだったってわけ。
So it seems.
さっちゃんはよく、わかりましたって言って何でも頼み事を引き受けてくれるけど、さっちゃんのわかりましたは、私たちにとって問題の解決とイコールなの。
It plays a lot of trust in Sachi's abilities.
そうなのよ。実は怒らせると一番怖いのはサッチンかもしれないんだから。ガオーって。
She has such an adorably derpy face. It's awesome.
Seems like I may have been underestimating Sachi. Hey, Sachi.
はい。
There's more to you than meets the eye. It's pretty impressive.
ありがとうございます。さて、榊さんも参加してくれる気になったみたいだし、早速ボードゲーム大会を始めましょうか。
That's what this is about? I mean, fair enough. I on fucking, was it New Year's? Nah, it wasn't New Year's, it was Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Christmas Eve gave my older brother a bunch of shit because he at this point has moved out, and even before the previous years, whenever Christmas Eve came around after, like, we got together, opened presents, ate, me and my mother would often suggest, hey, let's play a board game, and every single time, like, my sister would sometimes join in, my father would occasionally join in, my brother would never join in. Like, he would just immediately go back to his room and onto his PC. He was fucking worse than me somehow. When it came to that. And this year, the first Christmas after he moved out, he comes over for Christmas Eve. And we decide, and I was like, hey, we should play a board game. Still refuses. Like, he would rather just sit in the living room doing nothing, talking random ass shit, and looking at his phone, than sitting down at the fucking dinner table and play a board game. Like, fucking come on. For shame. Anyways. Have fun, don't worry about the noise. I'm the type who can sleep next to train tracks.
何言ってるの？ユージ君もやるのよ。
What?
みんなで遊ぶって言ってるんだから、当然あんたも入ってるに決まってるでしょうが。
私も強制参加させられているのだから分かっているわよね。なのよね、サッチ。はい。
They've been going at it like cats and dogs moments ago, but all of a sudden it's an utterly united front. Might be a little late in the game to realize it, but I seem to have ended up in a pretty troublesome school.
Also, I didn't know they have board game tournaments.
この A 液と B 液を混ぜる作業、何度やっても手が震えてくる。
Man, I won't play cards, dude.
You know, for reasons unknown, when I first saw this, and Dimitri's comments of solution A and B, for some strange, freakish reason, I thought of the two solutions used to power the rocket engine of the ME-163B. Now, I don't know if hydrogen peroxide will actually, well, I know how effective it is as rocket fuel, and I also know it's very useful as hair dye, but I hope it doesn't, you know what, let's just let the scene roll and you'll see what I mean.
Are you high?
You've
been secretly smoking before the start of the goddamn recording. Because you sound fucking high out of your mind saying that.
I just can't quite...
like, how the fuck do you get there? Is what I'm asking.
It's
literally nothing in this game has had to do in any way with fucking rocket science.
To be honest with you, there are times where I wonder that myself. But I still got there.
Then again, I'm the last person that gets to, you know, fucking blame people for weird thought patterns.
頭皮のズキズキを想像すると憂鬱になってくるわね。でもこれをやらないと色が綺麗な金髪でいられないからな。やけどしたみたいに痛いけど仕方ないのよ、ミチル。我慢しなきゃ。ああ、そうだ。一応皮膚に保護のためのクリームを塗り塗りと。ではこれを頭に。はっ。
Though it's not uncommon to hear someone who acts in bizarre and stupid ways derided as a space alien. As a general rule, the aliens I've seen in movies possess advanced intelligence surpassing humanity's. In some, they are even depicted as virtual gods manipulating genetic sequences to control human evolution. Do aliens exist? If you ask scientific authorities on the subject, they'll tell you, in all likelihood, yes. But just as the children's eyes begin to sparkle, the scientists tack on a malicious afternote. Not that they're anything like what you're thinking. Even if we do find some alien water flea wriggling around on a distant planet, I can't imagine will inspire too passionate a response from the general public. People don't want a rip-off like that from E.T. What they want is a simple by-the-book alien. Although I've experienced a wide range of auditory stimuli in my time, this is quite the ear-splitting shriek. There's considerable distance between me and the source, so there's no damage to my eardrums. But if I had to approach, I need to prepare myself a pretty decent set of earmuffs. Compared to the 120 decibels produced by the engine of a civilian aircraft, there is no match in pure volume. But when you consider the sheer unpleasantness factor, it's a pretty competitive match. Again, mind explaining what's going on?
これはチルチルの儀式なのよ。これが始まったらしばらくは続くのよさ。
How long is a while? Several days? Weeks?
そんなに長くはないのよ。スペインのトマト祭りだって1時間しかやらないんだから。まあ、それよりかは長いけどな。
What exactly is that woman doing? Other than shrieking like a banshee.
それが私にもわからないのよさ。チルチル宇宙人説っていうのが一番濃厚なのよ。変な声出してマザーシップとコンタクトしてるんじゃないかって踏んでるのよさ。まあ、一種の儀式だわな。
Communicating with the stars, eh? See, plausible. That woman is definitely a little out of the ordinary.
そうそう。ちょっとね、あれなのよ、おつむか。
I don't think you should necessarily talk.
そうなのよね、強くね、言えないと思うのよね。
I'm somewhat interested in the nature of the ceremony. Let's take a look.
私はチルチルのあんな姿を見たくないから失礼するのよさ。
Like what? Like what exactly?
口では説明できないのよ。だからその目で確かめてくるがいいのよさ。
Let's see. Then I'll do just that. As I approach Michu's room, I notice a strange stench in the air. This is foul. Some kind of gas. Membranes of my nose twitch in response. My body recalls tensions it's known in the field. I was trained to retain the capacity for action in a cloud of tear gas, but irrepressible coughing and running nose, the pain in your eyes, the irritation of your skin will always lower your effectiveness. No, my mistake, this is gas. I thought it might have been dispersed pepper spray, but that seems to have been a misjudgment. The odor is terrible, but it's not dense enough to affect my... What's this? The ceremony Makina was talking about? It hurts. What's that supposed to mean? Ceremony. Don't tell me it involves human sacrifice. When you think of human sacrifice to Mayan civilizations, what comes to mind? In order to offer tribute to the god of the sun. It said they would paint a human being blue and gouge out their still beating heart.
I can't think of Michiru being competent with an obsidian blade, but okay.
I mean, those blades were more clubs than anything, quite frankly.
That's true.
Just, you know, spicy clubs.
Yeah.
But ceremonies like this, like that, should have been ancient history by now, and in the first place, we're in Japan here, you know. It's hard to believe, but if Michiru happens to have painted her body blue, then it's bingo. She's emerged.
Woad.
I immediately tumble my way across the hall with a skillful shoulder roll and hide myself with shadows and silence the sound of my breath. In this moment, I know fear. Not the fear of death, but the fear of darkness. This is, in fact, a variety of terror completely new to me. explain its nature concisely. What the hell is this? Michiru's body was not in fact dyed blue. It is all well and good, but rolls of cling wrap are draped all around her head. From inside, a mysterious sap drips out in globs. Just as Machina said, Michiru's eerie, irregular movements are reminiscent of a space alien. This must be a particular variety of terror that accompanies a close encounter of the third kind. If I'm discovered, all bets are off. It's that sort of fear. Michiru wanders around the hallway with vacant eyes. Her cries are truly bizarre. She's receiving a message. Could that shriek itself be her transmission to the stars?
I've just been struck by an absurd thought. Somebody out there is going to mod this look into Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 as a zombie model.
That would require them making an actual 3D model of Michiru.
True.
Also, that doesn't exist.
Not yet.
Well, yeah.
Somebody's going to do it now that I've mentioned it.
If someone makes a couple of mods that replaces every fucking character in Left 4 Dead with some kind of VN character, I'm gonna actually fucking stream the thing, because I have Left 4 Dead 2.
That would be fun.
Because I actually have that. I actually have the game.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck would the smokers be?
Because you can customize your own various mods into L4D and L4D2 as well. All sorts
Yeah,
of
but
things.
you think I know how to do that?
I don't either.
Exactly.
Oh, well, to the tutorials.
Nah, I'm too fucking lazy to do that. If you want to do it, go man. Be my guest. I'm not moving a fucking finger. I'm too lazy.
Are you kidding? Who doesn't want Homer Simpson pretending to be a tank in a car? Want to find out what I'm on about? Go and look at Smitty's channel. Seriously.
No. I wonder what would be the witch.
Oh, what VN character would be the witch? Oh, that's a good question, though. Boomers would have to be the fat bastard trope.
Yeah.
One, because of the satisfaction of shooting them.
The boomers are the fucking nerd from Primal Hearts.
As a sort.
Yeah, that's the only one I can think of right now. Where that could be it. The jockeys are machinas.
That would be very funny. What playable characters would we have? Nah, Yuji would be just too broken. Let's pick somebody more inept.
Honestly, I would just want a playable Haku. Just because he would be entirely the type of person that wants nothing to do with the entire situation, but it's fucking pinned on him to deal with it anyways.
That's a good idea, that actually.
Like he is... If he had any time to prepare and actual enthusiasm to solve the situation, it probably could have already been solved, but he didn't want anything to do with that, so he tried to get out of it, but someone managed to grab him and yeet him in there, so now he's just there. Well, fuck, I guess the gun's gotta do now.
Yeah, I will kill you with the power of friendship and this gun I found. Or wear knight armor and... Oh, one word, I forgot about this bit.
Michiru draws near. Her lips are trembling violently, and her eyes seem to have rolled back in her head. She passes my hiding place and wanders off somewhere. It's been a long time since I wished so desperately from the bottom of my heart, please don't find me. She's left a slimy trail behind her, like a slug. I thought she was nothing more than a tsundere wannabe. To think she'd conduct such mysterious rituals. Clearly, I need to handle her with more caution.
あなた、何してるの？そんなところで不自然に寝転がって。
Vinzakaki, let me ask you instead, what are you doing standing up? As for me, I was just taking evasive actions in response to a certain crisis.
キキ？そう、大変なのね。
I stand up, brushing off the dust of my clothes, picked up from during the roll across the floor. Incidentally, what are your thoughts on extraterrestrial life? I know it's a difficult question, but I want to organize my own thoughts on the matter. Please let me hear your opinion. Skaki answers my sudden question without hesitation.
そうね。来年には宇宙戦争が始まるわ。
What?
宇宙からのファーストコンタクト。それは思いもよらない形から始まる。最初は予兆、そして接触。人間たちは未知の恐怖に怯え、理解よりも警戒が勝ってしまう。その結果、人々は安らかな睡眠のために武器を手に取ることを選択するのよ。
A battle for survival, huh? Sometimes there's no room for any other choice. And there's an old saying, first blow is half the battle.
でもナポレオンはこう言ってる。戦いは最後の5分間にある。
I see where you're going with this.
宇宙戦争は人類の敗北という形で幕を引く。恐怖から逃れるために武器を取ることは間違っている。と、最後に結んで、その小説は終わったわ。
Novel. Oh, were we talking about a book?
当たり前じゃない。宇宙人についてなんて急に言われても答えようがないもの。
I see, my bad.
いいえ、別に。だけど、これからは廊下での匍匐前進は慎みなさい。
Crawling isn't. True, the low crawl they teach every SDF grunt as a method of advancing with your body pressed flat on the ground, but it's not surprising you'd see it that way. But I didn't advance even a single meter, now did I? Grounds of observation was still lacking, Sakaki Yumiko, my friend. That was what we call the prone position.
来年に宇宙戦争が起こるというのは本当でしょうか？
Probably not, though she won't die of the common cold for a start.
Now, Sachi, what were you listening?
すみません。立ち聞きをしていたわけではないのですが、偶然耳に入ってしまって。
Sachi's anxious expression suggests she took my conversation with Sakaki completely seriously. I'd say that depends on the contents of Michiru's report. If she really is sending transmissions into space, their contents will decide our fate.
ミチル様が宇宙と交信を？それは初耳です。
Humankind ravages nature and slaughters innocent animals to eat their corpses. If the aliens learn of our savage ways, we won't get off easy. If you want, we can go watch the crucial moment together.
はい、お供させていただきます。
May I present to you a strange mental image? Matsushima Michiru speaking to Chewbacca.
I mean, from the sounds of it, they would be getting along swimmingly.
At the moment, probably, yeah. Chewie's infinitely more intelligent. Being part of the Klatuvat Guild will do that. He would have to duck his head down under the door, though.
There you see. Hey, careful, get any closer, you'll be in danger.
あの姿を見たのは初めてではありませんが、いつも通りショッキングです。
Listen, observe with caution. You can see how her eyes have rolled back.
はい、白目を向いています。
Probably sign she's under the control of the mothership.
母艦から、さすが風見さんです。そんなことがわかるなんて。
Well, it's only a hypothesis for the moment.
あれは何ですか？ひどく体をビクンビクンさせていますが。
She may well be fighting with someone in the spirit world. But in the end, we're merely spectators. We can do nothing but watch over her battle.
ミチル様、大変な状況だったんですね。私、そんなこととはつゆ知らずにおりました。
Then again, we can also interpret this in a very different way.
と言いますと？
That's a dance.
ダンス？
At a glimpse, it may look like she's going into convulsions. But there's also the possibility that she's simply working on her moves.
頭から液体を垂らしながら踊りの練習。ミチル様は一味違いますね。
If you think of it as a modern dance expressing her inner self, I'd say it is actually pretty spot on.
ですが、ミチル様がダンスに精通しているなんて知りませんでした。踊っている姿を拝見したことがあまりないもので。
I don't know, this sounds less like a dance. It looks less like a dance and more like a danse macabre.
Or a dunce routine.
Amina didn't pick up those cooking skills in the day either. Expertise is the result of hidden dedication to your craft. In other words,
Giving my pun the deserve.
Michiru is sowing the seeds here and now for the future flowering of artistic accomplishment. Man, she's fucking approaching her like that.
あんな必死なお顔でみちる様の努力には感服いたします。いつか素敵な暗黒舞踏を見せていただきたいものです。
Russell Malafant, eat your
二
heart
人で
out.
仲良く何してるの？
Shh, keep quiet.
今みちる様のダンスの練習を見学していたところです。ダンス？どれどれ？ああ、なんだいつものあれじゃない。またやってるのね。
Doesn't it just bring a tear to your eye?
まあそれはそうね。でもちょっと怖くて見たくないな。
Don't you understand the magnificence of those movements? These steps express the terror of an invasion from outer space. Truly avant-garde.
わかんないわよ。ただ痛みを我慢してるようにしか見えない。
Philistine, to think your frigidity would extend to the fine arts as well.
ちょっと待ってよ。待って何よ。待って。私不干渉じゃないでしょ。
Oh, really?
何よもう。あまねさん言ってしまわれましたね。
What's that human being? Kind of appreciate this work of art. Oh, whatever it is, since I'm basically just making stuff up here.
なるほど。
Okay, we bored yet?
いえ、まだ観察したいと思っています。
See, you're passionate. I'm bored. Frankly, I got bored about 2 minutes in.
そうですか。では、私も掃除を続けたいと思います。それでは、失礼いたします。
Good work. If you observe any dramatic changes with Michiru, make sure to report them to me.
はい。
As I'm leaving, it occurs to me that Michiru's movements are also similar to those of a zombie. If that woman is in fact one of the undead, I suppose I'll have to put a bullet in her head. Prepared to walk in the earth as the living dead, I'm sure she would want it that way. She appears to have turned into a human-sized vibrator. I can see 3 mouths at the same time.
Oh no. I've never heard that description before.
When you take a walk like this, you realize just how wide a range of shops there are in this town. Just for food, we've got butchers, fishmongers, greengrocers, and convenience stores. There's even 2 large supermarkets on either side of the station. In the town I was living in before, there was of course a shopping area, and its scale was adequate to avoid any problems in my daily life, but it was overall a pretty compact district, and most of the stores were small family-owned businesses. Doesn't even bear comparison to what you find in a town fairly close to the metropolitan area like this one. I don't tend to estimate the wealth of the town by its facade alone, but looking at the number of chic retailers of clothes, jewelry, and other non-essential luxury goods, you'll naturally get an idea of this place's relatively high-class population. So as for what I'm currently doing in this affluent town, I'd been on my way to buy curtains for my windows, heading to a hardware store Amina told me about. Had been. Right. Past tense. I noticed a certain abnormality about 10 minutes ago. Specifically, someone was on my tail. I thought my imagination might have been acting up at first, but when I abruptly changed my course just to be safe, they came charging after me in a panic. There's no way this is a coincidence. There are 3 pursuers. Since they're following me in a group rather than dispersed individually, it's incredibly easy to tell. Pretending to look into the shop window of a watch shop along the street, I casually glanced at their faces. But they weren't familiar in the slightest, and for a group with a grudge against my workplace, they seemed far too sloppy and dim-witted. Basically, they just looked like a bunch of juvenile delinquents. Though naughty lads like this exist in any town, it feels like you'll actually find more of them in well-off places like this. They tend to be of a particularly ugly variety. They say the poor can't afford manners, but I find that living in a place where everything you need is dropped in your lap tends to twist people in its own way. Forget about hard work, and it's easy to fall into warped ways of thinking. Well then, what to do? What reason would they have to follow me around? Well, I've been thinking over it for a while, nothing has come to mind. In which case, it would probably be best to ask him directly. Guess I'll lure them into some nice dark alley. Walking around my surroundings perfectly casually, I'm startled when something unexpected catches my eye.
お兄ちゃんだ。こんなところで何してるのよさ。
Shit! Why did you have to appear at this? Of all times.
おう？どうしたの？
Nah, it's nothing. Are you alone? Where's Amane?
今日はね、一人。女ってのは一人にしてほしい時もあるのよ。
Amane said that?
私がそう言ってるのよさ。
Cheeky girl. Oh, what can I do about the shrimp? At this rate, she might get mixed up in this. Thrust my hand into the rear pocket of my school uniform, pull out 3 1,000 yen notes rolled up with a rubber band. Saw today, isn't it, Makina? Feel some ice cream?
晩ご飯の前に食べたらダメなのよ。アマネーに怒られるのよさ。
What Amane doesn't know won't hurt her. I really want ice cream. Gonna go buy some?
でも
Please, I'll explain it to Amane so she won't get mad at you, okay? I take Makina's hand and forcibly close it around 3,000 yen. 30,000 yen.
こんなにいっぱいいらないのよ。
Really? Then go ahead and use the change to dabble in the stock market.
株に投資するには足りないと思う。
Anyway, ice cream. Head over to Baskin Robinson's on the other side of the station. Make mine a caramel ribbon.
じゃあ私はラズベリーチーズケーキとパッポンストリートシャワーのダブルで。
Double or triple, whatever is fine. Get what you want.
それはとっても嬉しいのだけれども素朴な疑問があるのよさ。
What?
なんでお兄ちゃんは一緒に行かないの？
Because I'm too embarrassed to go into that place. Come on, get going.
何か釈然としないものが胸の奥でくすぶっているのだけれども、いい女は余計な質問をして男を困らせないものなのよ。
I don't like your implication! I'm gonna say that.
そう。
Cheeky girl.
じゃあ行ってくるのよさ。少しお時間がかかるかもしれませんが、しばしご歓談を。
With who? While watching Makina trot off with the money clenched in her hand, I exhale slowly. The bunch following me doesn't show any signs of chasing after Makina and her money. In other words, they're not after me for my cash. If it's not a robbery, I guess it would leave a personal grudge or some sort of class resentment. Either way, not a particularly welcome situation. Well, whatever. After watching Makina disappear, I find an alley between a cleaner's and a liquor store and casually turn into it as if taking a shortcut.
おい、あいつどこ行った？逃げられたんか？だから言ったべよ。あいつやっぱ気づいてたんだって。言ってる間に探せよ、ボギー。ほんと使えねえな、てめえら。あ？てめえらって何よ？俺も入ってんの？何それ？リーダー気取り？てめえまたボコられてえの？あ？
Out of nothing. Oh, I could take care of that for you.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of those mooks in Noble Works. You know those two who constantly try to kidnap the protagonist.
Yeah.
We have no Maya to go and dig us out this time, but oh well.
Maya was best girl. Noble Works is also a series I need to actually do a co-host on, just because of how much I've been fucked during that series.
Yeah.
I mean, first route, best girl, perfectly went all right. Second route was really fucking good. However, the second part of 2, fucking 4 hours of recording down the fucking drain. Third route, exact same issue, like 4 hours of recording, fucking gone, but just because YouTube decided that her moaning was, like, it wasn't even her moaning. I think it was just the game describing her going to the fucking living room and the MC saying, oh, by the way, she has a vibrator on her. And that was enough for you two to be like, no. Fuck you.
Killjoys.
So I just decided, you know what? Fuck it. Not feeling this anymore. Skip the pink hairs route. We're just going to the main girl. Alright.
だからてめえ一度まぐれで勝ったぐらいで随分とビッグなマウス叩いちゃってくれちゃってんじゃんよあいいぜ来いよ俺はいつでもやってやんよやめろよ今あんなことしてる場合じゃねえべよ
Hey there. You know, dude in the middle and dude on the right notwithstanding, dude on the left looks like a JRPG protagonist.
He does, actually, yeah.
Dude in the middle looks like he owns a ramen shop.
てめえどこに隠れてやがった
Ah, beyond those beer cases. Need some?
のこのこと自分から出てきやがってなんか用かだってよおめでたいやつだね
Sorry, I'm not interested in men.
あんたそれ美浜学園の制服だよな
Yeah, it is. What about it?
じゃああんたには悪いんだけどもよボコらしてもらうわ
Why would you do that?
あ理由なんかねえよただおめえをボッコボコにしてだけ理解できたかあ
Hey now, you're scaring me. Please stop. I can't stand
悪
violence.
くは思うなよこっちも仕事なんでな
Job.
ぐちゃぐちゃうるせえんだよ
These two came prepared. These two came prepared with a fucking knife and a goddamn taser. This dude didn't know what to do. Saw a random ass iron rod on in a hardware store while they were tailing him and decided, you know what, fuck it, I'll make do. Because that's not a fucking pipe. That's like a fucking fucking 4x metal rod.
Yeah. To be honest with you, looking at it from here, it kind of reminds me of one of those rolls of tinfoil.
Or that. In the
Yeah.
apparent attempt to intimidate me, the man fires a flashy burst of sparks from the stun gun in his hand. The discharge of electrical energy scorches particles of dust in the atmosphere. Burning smell fills the air, pricking the depths of my nose. Close my eyes. The next moment, a siren rings out in my head. I'm in pouring rain, pushing through the mud at my feet. Taste of iron spreading through my mouth. Hiding my body from the light of the flare is a knife dyed black in my hand, swallowing down my heart as it tries to leap out of my mouth. If you want to protect someone, first protect yourself. Seems like the time has come to make use of my super self-defense technique.
なんだてめえおとなしくしてりゃ命だけは助けてやんぞ
As man raises a stun gun and takes a fighting stance, I draw a huge breath into my lungs, and ringing out my voice to the limit, I scream, "Help me!"
てめえふざけんな
Someone help! Call the police!
さでけえ声出すんじゃねえよおら
Man's stun gun discharges a threatening pale bluish arc of electricity in my general direction. I reach out and gently grasp his outthrust hands as if trying to shake. Well, guess that's about what you'd expect. In this narrow alley, all three can't attack me at once. Maybe a plan for this sort of cramped space, or maybe it's just a coincidence from prioritizing ease of concealment. Either way, the iron pipe of the man with the black tank top's hand is cut very short, not well suited for disabling me with a single blow. That said, the guy next to him with the knife isn't much use either. He might look the most dangerous of the bunch at a glance, but a weapon like that is actually a hindrance if he's not planning to kill me. In this situation, the flashiest, easiest to use weapon is also the most effective. Stun gun can drop me dead with a single attack. The ideal would be to fire off a single shot to eliminate my mobility and crush my fighting spirit, then have all three surround me and beat me senseless. That's just rude. I don't go around holding hands with men for the fun of it. Well, it looks like a casual light grasp. Truth is I've got a hold on a vital point of the hand he's holding the stun gun with. When I put pressure on this exact spot, he can't push or pull as long as he's maintaining his grip. If he were to pull back hard using the weight of his body, he could rip his hand free. But I'm controlling his center of gravity as well, so that's sadly not an option.
何やってんだ。さっさとやっちまえ。
話せよ
That's all I'm grabbing you that hard. I'm just like the monkey with his hand stuck in the jar. Might as well just drop the banana, right? My words, the man's firm grip on his stun gun weakens for just an instant. In that moment, I feel the loosening of his proximal phalanx bones. I twist his wrist sharply upward and dig my thumb hard into the side of his hand. By first extending the joints of his wrist and attacking them with the pinpointed pressure of my finger, I've completely disabled his ability to maintain a grip. The stun gun slips out of his hand. Whoops. Catching the stun gun as it falls from the man's hand, I jerk his arm upwards to immobilize his elbow joint, then push him hard against a pile of beer cases stacked along the wall.
Crash, bang, wallop.
Like both of them are just realizing, oh shit,
Yeah.
this was a bad idea. I mashed the man's face against the beer case while maintaining my incapacitating wrist hold. The next moment I pushed the stun gun against the scruff of his neck and threw the switch without hesitation. One down. Here, catch. As the next man raises a short iron pipe above his head like a hammer, I abruptly toss the stun gun in his direction. The man reaches out in a panic to try and retrieve the stun gun. Been a while since I've seen such a bunch of clowns. Kick my knee up sharply into his vertically defensive abdomen. Instantly doubling over his belly in an instinctive attempt to protect the place he's been attacked, the man's chin sticks out as if he's begging to be kicked. Oh, you insist? The air that was in the man's lungs squirts out through his nose as his eyes roll back in his head. He crumbles face first onto the ground. I'll give you 2 seconds, drop the knife. That's his voice? 1.
悪かったもうやめるだから
2. Man throws his knife in his hand aside and stumbles backwards in a blind panic, trying to escape. And where are you going? I quickly trample down his foot from above, sealing his movement, and strike hard at the base of his throat with the joint of my right thumb. His throat crushed in the middle of a breath, the man's momentarily compressed trachea sticks shut under the inward pressure from his lung, rendering breathing temporarily impossible. As the man claws desperately at his throat, his eyes bulge open wide and release a flood of tears. He falls with a thud onto his backside. I don't think we're done with our chat. You have to be a patient, kid, and listen to what others have to say, or you won't get any snacks, okay? Glancing sidelong at the man, as he grasps his throat with both hands and flails his legs on the ground, I crouch down and pick the knife he tossed away. Well, if your throat happens to get cut, yeah, you won't be able to eat your snacks anyway, I guess. I got questions. Would you be so kind as to answer? Oh, can't talk. Let me open a... Want me to open a hole in your lungs? It'll release that air pressure so you can breathe nice and easy. Man responds to my offer by violently shaking his head from side to side. Don't worry, you've got two perfectly good lungs. Getting a hole poked in one won't kill you. I stand looking down on him with the knife in one hand. The man scrambles desperately at the ground, trying to put some distance between us. Seriously, where do you think you're going? You want me to make it physically impossible for you to run? Just answer my questions. First question, who gave you the orders? One of you said this was your job, right? But you didn't show any interest in a little girl with money in her hands. So this wasn't just a stick-up. Somebody asked you, right? Beat the shit out of me in particular.
俺は知らないんだそこの鉢巻きの男が持ってきた仕事だあんたをボコれば30万くれるって俺はただ一緒に来れば10万やるって言われて何も知らずについてきただけなんだ
Screwed up, should have talked to him instead of you. Still grasping the knife in my hand, I glance back at the man with the banana. He's flat on the asphalt, his eyes rolled back all the way into his head, drooling from the mouth. Well, whatever. Next question. Did you come after me knowing who I am? You don't mind name.
知らない。ただ駅前で美浜学園の制服を着た男がいたらボコれって、そう言われただけで名指しだったわけじゃない。本当だ。
Well, that is unexpected. The first thing these guys asked me was about the Miyama uniform. That's as expected. The first thing these guys asked me was about the Miyama uniform. That's evidence that they were targeting a male Miyama Academy student rather than Kazumi Yuji. That said, I'm the only male student in Miyama Academy at the moment. Ultimately, I was the specific target. Considering the bunch of clowns they sent, it's hard to think this has any connection to anyone with a grudge related to my job. So who the hell? And for what reason? First things first. Doesn't seem like I'm gonna get anything useful out of you, does it? In that case, might as well finish this one off, wake up Banana Man and squeeze it out of him.
やめろ。やめてくれ。何をする気だ。俺を殺すのか。
Don't get so worked up, rest assured I don't kill people. Well, sometimes they might wish I had, but by the time I'm through... What are you quivering about? You that scared to die? I realize that I'm still gripping the open knife in my hand. Ah, my bad, I'll give this back later. Release the folding knife's lock and shut the blade away with a snap. But I'd recommend not carrying toys like this around. Having one on hand makes you want to use it. With something like this in your pocket, your mouth gets smarter. You start swagging around, picking stupid fights with people. If you lose control, you end up doing something you can't take back. It's probably just trying to look cool, but depending on a toy like this to prop up your ego seems more pathetic from where I stand.
そこで何をしている。
Blinding beam of a flashlight shines through the dim alley into my face. I instinctively shield my
全員
eyes.
路地から出ろ。おかしな真似はするなよ。
Yeah, no need to scream. I'm an old man. My ears work just fine.
なんだ。またあんたか。
That's my line. I have to say, though, the police force in this town really is pretty impressive. Did you hear my scream?
ここで喧嘩が起きていると通報があったんだよ。まさかと思って来てみりゃ。やっぱりあんたか。
What's that supposed to mean? Almost sounds like you think of me as like the guy who's going to cause trouble sooner or later. Talk about rude.
痛いなも何もそのままだ。いつかやらかすとは思っていたが、こんなに早いとはな。あ、とにかく署まで来てもらおうか。
Come on now, I'm the victim, you
だ
know.
ったらその手にしたものは何だ。武器を捨てろ。無駄な抵抗はやめろ。
Still holding the knife I took from the man in my hands. Guess I won't be able to talk myself out of this one. Damn it, guess that's
お
that.
兄ちゃんどうしたの。
And of course she has to come back at this exact moment. When I turn around, I find Makina standing behind me, ice cream cones in both hands.
この子はあんたの妹か。
Oh no, she's my classmate, I
あ
suppose.
んたクラスメートの女の子にお兄ちゃんって呼ばせてるのか。
Well, for some reason I've got the feeling this policeman's mental image of me is getting worse by the
とに
second.
かく署まで来てもらうぞ。
Yeah, fine.
お兄ち
Don't worry, it's not like I'm getting arrested. I'll be back as soon as I explain the situation, so go ahead and head home. Drop a hand on Makina's head with a gentle thump, and use my other hand to take the ice cream cones you brought for me. Thanks for the ice cream.
その子も関係者だろう。勝手に返しちゃ困るな。
I said I'd come, didn't I? She doesn't have anything to do with it. Go ahead, Makina.
死な
I'm not going to war! Don't make that face. I'll be back soon.
ないで。
This isn't my first stint with the police, okay? I'll be fine.
It's the po. The po-po. Just want a word. It'll be alright.
Like, look, this policeman and me, we all pals. We know each other. We've been in a fucking interrogation room for more than a few hours.
Meanwhile, while you say that, he's just giving you an evil sideways look.
I'll be honest. I actually kind of want a fucking version of Grisaia with my rendition of Yuji.
Yeah.
I want to see what that would fucking be like, honestly. Just a Yuji that is like, just goes off into random spastic bouts.
Just this Artificial bonhomie. It's great.
Like, randomly throughout the day, while just trying to go about his day, he just experiences a lobotomy. After watching it disappear around a corner, I turned to face the policeman. Even I can be kind to children when the mood strikes me. Policeman points to my hand where I'm holding my caramel ribbon one cone. Mind your own business! I sink my teeth into the ice cream Machina brought me.
And here we are again.
And so I find myself in this sweat box for the second time. Having been through this once again, I've gotten a little used to the place. While the uniformed cop was guiding me here, I looked around the station for familiar faces. I noticed the young detective who'd interviewed me on the other day slurping up soba noodles at his desk. Trying to send a small message of apology for the last time, I smiled and bowed my head lightly in greeting. The young detective scowled back bluntly and spun his chair away from me, still clutching his bowl. Possibly he's got some idea of my background now, as the gesture seems to be saying I've got no intention of playing nice with Ichigaya. Either way, it was a firm and unambiguous rejection. With an attitude like that, it's no wonder the police rarely get any civilian cooperation these days. I told him as much, but I managed to swallow the words down with a smile. Looking at things from his point of view, I'm definitely nothing but trouble. If he sits down across from me again, I think I might as well come out and give him a vocal apology at least. But betraying my expectations, the person who enters the room is the sly-looking elderly detective I spoke with before my release last time.
Kazami-san. Mata anata desu ka?
Well, times 4! I don't know if it's a vocal tick or what, but this detective seems to enjoy repeating that word. The sort of guy just loves to play the slow-witted old man like that. I suddenly ask how many times did I say well just now, to probe how mentally focused you are on the conversation. If you respond don't know, having thrown you off balance, he'll barrage you with sharp, to-the-point questions. The sort of old codger you can never let you go guard down around. I was the victim of a unilateral assault. I didn't go looking for it to cause trouble. More importantly, have you ID'd the people who attacked me?
それはもう3人とも窃盗や傷害の前科がありましてね。すぐに身元は判明しましたよ。
Who are they?
聞いてどうなさるおつもりです？
I'm particularly looking for revenge, if that's what you're worried about.
ということは素性によってはお仲間に困りますな。確かにポンといなくなっても誰も気に留めないような連中ですがね。うちは職案じゃないんですからな。
Just a bunch of thugs?
そう考えてもらって間違いありませんな。あの中の一人は地元の暴力団とのつながりもありますが、まあ極めて善良な一般市民ですな。
Exemplary, huh?
あなた方に比べればという意味ですよ。
You don't need to spell that out. And they confess anything about why they attacked me.
はいはい、そりゃもう素直にゲロしましたよ。ですがまあ、なんと説明したものでしょうね。いわゆる最近流行りのネット殺人ってやつなんですよね。
Network.
いや、私も詳しくないんで、うまく説明できないんですがね。
Hold on, let me keep count. Where did it start? Last 4 wells? No more here. Five wells? Six wells, 7 wells, 8 wells. We're on 8 wells. Go ahead and remember that for me. Might forget.
なんでもネットの掲示板に殺人依頼の書き込みをすると、いわゆる仕置き人という連中が代理で実行してくれるらしいのですわ。まあ殺人依頼の書き込みってのはほとんどが冷やかしで、実際のところは気に入らない相手の名前を書いて死なない程度に袋叩きにしてくれというのがほとんどだそうなんですがね。
So they didn't have any idea of my background when they attacked me.
うちの若いのにそのインターネット掲示板とやらを調べさせたのですが、 あなたの名前は上がっていないそうです。連中が名前も知らずにあなたを襲ったのは間違いないでしょう。
Who placed the request?
さあ、そこまでは。一応、ハンドルネームって言うんですかね。名前のとこにはマオと書かれていたそうですよ。
Oh lord, fucking Mao Mao's after Yuji. This medicine business is not going well because of him.
Well, or maybe, for all I know, it could be Mao from Sugar Style, or indeed it could be Mazadon.
Or it could be Mao from Disgaea 3. He didn't want him murdered, he wanted his body for experiments.
Next thing you know, we'll be thinking it's Lord Lucan coming at them,
Mao.
riding
idea.
Sugar.
Couldn't trace the IP.
なんだかよくわかりませんけどね。今うちの若い連中がその辺から調べてるみたいで、プロバイダーまでは終えたらしいんですが。
Hold on, was it another well? That was one more well!
9.
We're on 9 now.
どうにも漫画喫茶から発信されたみたいでね。今何人か向かわせとるところです。
What kind of idiot runs a public net cafe without restrictions on BBS posting in this day and age? Regardless, I don't think there's much hope of finding the criminal among their customers.
いやはや、しかし最近は何でもネットですよ。私らジジイにはちんぷんかんぷんですわ。はは、私らはほれ、コンピューターってやつで動いてますんでね。
That gag physically hurt. If this was America, I'd say.
ま、何にせよ、恐ろしい世の中ですよ。あなたもせいぜい気をつけることですな。
Sorry for the trouble. Tuning this conversation isn't going to get me any more information. Lift myself up from off the cheap folding chair.
ああ、風見さん、まだ帰ってもらっちゃ困るのですわ。
Huh? Already got my statement, right?
そのことなんですがね。今回の件を傷害事件として刑事告訴されますか？
Not necessarily. I haven't suffered anything except the loss of my time and energy.
まあ、それがよろしいでしょうな。
13?
13.
風見さん、あなたちょっとやりすぎですよ。逆に過剰防衛の線で粘られると厄介ですよ。下手すりゃ特別公務員暴行陵虐罪ってやつですわ。おたくさんの組織じゃ裁判費用は自腹なんじゃないですか？
If they try suing me, I'll have a little talk with my superiors. They did say nobody would miss them if they fell off the face of the earth, right? You did say nobody would miss them if they fell off the face of the earth, right?
おお、怖い怖い。では今回の件は私の方でうまく処理しておきましょ
Sorry, I'd appreciate that. Next time I stop by, I'll bring a
う。
present.
もう二度と来ないでくれるのが一番ありがたいですな。
Turning my back on the vaguely grating laughter of the sly old man, I leave the sweatbox. Then I have to count afterwards. After all, I'm actually kind of disappointed. Well then, how do I explain this one to JB? It's all well and good that the police let me walk, but my problems aren't quite over. This incident must have reached Ichigaya by now. As my direct officer and as my direct superior and case officer, JB will be taking a lot of heat. In fact, she's probably grudgingly kowtowing at the brass right about now. Let out a short sigh, take my cell phone from my pocket and turn on the power. In the next moment, with startling timing, it begins to ring.
Hello, Yuji.
Her tone suggests there's pegging in his future.
Ah.
Hi
If she had
there,
a way.
JB. Your voice is as lovely as always. I've been charmed out of my senses. Want to get married?
いいわよ。今すぐ婚姻届を持って市ヶ谷まで私を迎えに来てちょうだい。
My bad. Let's get down to
分か
business.
ってるとは思うけど、私は忙しいの。だから単刀直入に言うけど、次に問題を起こしたら謹慎ね。ついでに外出と主保物品も規制して強制労働を課します。
Hey, JB, did you know there's actually a word for that now? It's called imprisonment.
大丈夫。寂しくないように週に一度は面会に行ってあげるから。
Is that how the grown-ups run things in this
正
country?
常に機能しない国防装置に払う税金はないの。言ってる意味はわかるわね。
Oh, I understand. My
も
bad.
し言い訳があるのなら聞いてあげる。
No, I don't have an excuse. But there's something I want to
言っ
say.
てみなさいな。
JB, I love you, and
それと
no, I shouldn't. If I say this, you'll definitely get mad.
何よ。怒らないから言いなさい。
Okay, here we go. Quit your bitching, fish face. I'll stick that phone so far up your ass you'll feel the ringtone you're calling.
I seem to recall a more imaginative insult in the uncensored version, but
What
I
did
forget.
the uncensored one say? Oh, you forget.
I forget. I think
That
it was
was-
something to do with wizard or some such. It was very funny.
No, I'm curious, but I'm not installing the fucking R18 version for this. I actually have a problem where I installed the R18 version for the first of the fucking Clockwork Leyline games once,
Mhm.
and for some reason, ever since I did, and because I immediately uninstalled it and then uninstalled the game, yet for some reason there's apparently remnants of the fucking patch still on my PC that refuse to get deinstalled. So
Oh,
there's just like a fucking 1 megabyte trash heap on my PC now.
oh dear.
So yeah, if I don't plan to actually finish that thing, I'm not gonna fucking do that. I'm not about to. You know, I could actually just download. I don't download an uncensored version, or like fucking pirate it, since hey, I fucking paid for the thing. Fuck cares. But I'm not doing that right now. Anyways, like I still have no idea where the fucking uncensored patch for this at this point. But at this point, I've stopped giving a shit. Hold on, maybe I should read that. I quickly end the call and turn the cell phone off. JB, a truly understanding spirit to lend an ear to your subordinate's abuse. It's thanks to you that I can vent my stress and enjoy my days of serenity.
お兄ち
Makina, why are you waiting for me here?
ゃん。だってお兄ちゃん警察に連れて行かれちゃったし、後から来た警察の人に話を聞いたら、なんか3人の男の人と喧嘩したって言うし、私心配だったのよ。
I see. I dropped my hand on Makina's head with a thud. It's becoming a habit. How to put it? That is just the right height to rest your hand on it.
ずっと待ってたのよ。
Sorry I worried you. A look closely, Makina's still clutching the paper from her ice cream cone in her hand. She must have taken my I'll be back soon literally and stayed right here the entire
怪我
time.
はしてないの？大丈夫？
Who do you think you're talking to? There's no way I'd lose to the likes of them.
お兄ちゃん喧嘩強いの？
Don't want to boast, but the only person who's beaten me in a fight is my master.
じゃあ私がピンチな時は助けてくれる？
You just worry about living a solid, decent life, and you won't need rescuing. More importantly, let's get back quietly. Quickly, Amane must be worried.
怒られそうになったら助けてくれる？
Well, yeah, I think it can handle that much at least. Come on, let's go. Makina nods energetically, trots up next to me, and grabs hold of my left hand. There's exactly one H scene from Makina's route that I know, and that's the one involving her mother. I assume you know which one I'm talking about?
You know, truth to tell, when it came to the uncensored version of this game, I didn't touch Makina's route with the barge pole.
There's apparently one H scene in Makina's route where he has her mother tied up and is fucking her in the ass as a form of torture. Yep. The only reason I know that was because there were a few years ago, I think, at this point, I followed like a Twitter account with another one of my accounts that is at this point completely fucking unused, funnily enough.
Yeah.
And
Black
he
Ops
would
account.
essentially post screenshots of VNs that he was playing. And at one point he posted a bunch of screenshots for Grisaia, and one of the screenshots he posted was that H scene where he literally described as like anal as like if the person in question is willing, it can be quite pleasurable. However, if they're unwilling, it becomes excruciatingly painful. And explaining like that he that is why he's using that as the form of torture. Which was fucked. Anyways. Yeah. Same as her. Ha! Literally. Anyways. First dominant now Machina. Why are my hands in so much demand lately? Apparently since my unspoken complained, Machina squeezed my hand forcefully.
どこにも行ったら嫌なのよ。
No need to squeeze that hard. I'm not going to vanish all of a sudden.
絶対
Can't make any guarantees. As I pulled Machina along by her strangely warm hand, we set off for the dome. We walked side by side, our lengthening shadows spreading out across the road. A long time ago, I used to be fascinated and puzzled by the way shadows grow as the sun began to sink under the horizon. Who explained it to me at the time? I think it was my mother. Although I do remember walking hand in hand with my master at sunset, there's no way that woman would have given me a straight answer. She would leave. Oh yeah, it was my sister, wasn't it? Bathed in the evening sun, I pulled along by my sister's hand. I pointed at my extending shadow and asked her, why do shadows get all along at sunset? The answer she gave me in return was overly technical, explaining how the changing of the season affected the phenomenon, and at the time I didn't really understand any of it. Used to be. I was the one being pulled along.
何?
That's nothing.
独り言が多いと変なやつだと思われちゃうのよ。
What is with the amount of fucking smug on her face here? Like, am I crazy or is this more smug than usual?
Yeah, she's always like that. I know where she gets it from too.
Like, I think it's a mix of the fucking, like, sprite pose and the face.
Yeah.
Like, she has had this face on before, but for some reason it looks like 10 times as smug right now.
Yeah.
Yes. Duly noted. I hadn't thought that I'd ever become the sort of person who could take another's hand in mine and lead him home. But there's no guarantee that I'll be here to do the same tomorrow. But this time tomorrow evening, the hand that's holding hers may be gone. He wakes up the next morning, the hand is literally gone. Oh! That's not what I meant!
Just beautifully
pregnant?
amputated.
コン
Oh no. So I had to get the joke in before she started getting on with the rest of the line.
よし行くわよ。おはよう。みんな元気にしてる？
I watch from behind as Michiru boldly leaps into the classroom like a paratrooper jumping into the sky over Normandy. Naturally, she is not as heavily equipped, but in her grim resolve, she's a match for any screaming eagle.
Winters would be proud.
Without such intestinal fortitude, there's no way the girl could charge so defenselessly into that classroom. Well, unless she's simply unaware of the situation. Seems like the latter. You are a truly foolish woman, Michiru.
ちょっと何あれ？なんで？
And here I was, filled with admiration for your kamikaze spirit, to think you were just wallowing in ignorance.
知らなかったわよ。通りで教室に誰もいないわけじゃない。なんで教えてくれないのよ。
Because you didn't ask.
だって教室の中に蜂がいるなんて普通想像しないでしょ。
Oh, bees are harmless, you coward.
I mean, apparently Japanese bees can be very much not harmless.
I'm still thinking of Japanese hornets when it comes to things like that. They are nasty.
That's right. Situation? The bee. A flying pest has occupied our classroom and now lies in ambush. Our classmates have all withdrawn from the field.
中が危ないなら危ないって先に言ってくれないと困るじゃない。
This is exactly why you're renowned as the most brainless of bimbos. Heavy action should be taken only after consideration of the worst case scenario. Don't you have any common sense at all? What kind of idiot opens the door without assessing the risks?
ドアぐらい普通に開けるでしょ。
Whenever you open the door, you do so in a steadfast resolve to find Somalia waiting on the other side.
そんな覚悟持ってないわよ。何？どうやって開けばいいの？
You're not worthy of my instruction.
なんでそんなケチンボなのよ。安全なドアの開け方を教えなさいよね。
Such advice could have been useful to Holy Roman Emperor Charles IX, who died after walking into a door.
What the fuck?
There's your random trivia. You're welcome.
What the fuck? If you're that determined, I suppose you can make an exception. Step 1. Confirm the surrounding area. Standing in front of the door, I demonstrate by pointing sequentially to the ceiling, the floor, the front, my rear, my left, my right, following with my eyes.
なるほどなるほど。周囲を確認ね。それから？
Observe with the utmost caution, you understand? Search every inch of your surroundings on the assumption that they hide deadly traps.
うん。それから？ん？どうしたの？
Quite! We've just begun our 6-hour stakeout period, of course.
長いわよ。そんなに待てるわけないでしょ。
What? By all rights, we should obtain a map, infiltrate, and watch from cover for a week in advance. I'm granting extraordinary permission for a raid after nothing more than an observation period, and you're still not satisfied. Just how far do you expect me to indulge your laziness, your spoiled bottle blonde? You call yourself Japanese.
いいから簡単に教えなさいよ。簡単に。
Very well. I'll teach you the simplest possible method using the nice small words. First, we slowly open the door. Then we throw in the decoy. Next, we close the door and stand by until the decoys report.
This made me laugh out loud.
Listen up, maggot! You have a scouting mission complete! Desertation in the face of the enemy's treason. If you turn your back on your foe and come crawling to safety, I'll re-educate you with my own hands. Calm down and maintain your composure. Don't let panic blind you. Use those holes in your head you call eyes. It truly helps us. Very well. I won't go as far as to sing a song to give you courage. What? Walter P38, which I'm pretty sure is a gun. Or a tank, I don't know. Let me look it up.
Probably just a Velta pistol.
Walter P38. Yep. It is specifically this pistol.
Mm-hmm. Pity Bud's missing this, he'd have loved it.
Actually, would have been fucking curious how you've tried to say that.
Oh well.
You see, he's decided to silence her breathing and hide. Compared to noisily trying to escape, that's a much wiser course of action. He's gained such instinctive understanding of the art of reconnaissance in this short time. Michiru, my friend, we might make a scout of you yet. Huh? Michiru's collapsed on the floor, her eyes rolling around in her head. What's all this about then? Hey maggot, we're authorized due to a feint. Calm yourself. This thing is nothing more than an insect. Huh! Be eliminated. Situation resolved. Told you to calm yourself. This kind of bee can't sting. So it's a whole... So it's a bumblebee.
Yeah.
I almost said hornet because the German word for bumblebee is Hummel.
Yeah.
Sa-
I thought hornet was
Sasonai
honeys or
hachi?
something along those lines.
Huh?
I thought German for hornet was honeys, I think.
No. But the German word for bumblebee is Hummel. Is what I said.
All right. Yeah. I was just
For
thinking.
hornet, it would be Wespe.
Oh, right. All right, we translate that as wasp.
Well, quite frankly, hornet, wasp,
Hmm.
what's the fucking difference?
Hornets are more bad-tempered. Trust me. Japanese ones are notorious.
I think we would just call them Stechbiene then. I don't fucking remember though. Anyways. Listen, while a bee's stinger is part of its ovipositor, therefore males don't have one. Look closely, this thing's harmless.
あ、本当だ、針がない。なんだ、驚いて損した。え、じゃあどうしてみんな教室にいないの？
They jumped to conclusions and mistook this for the dangers of variety. We're gonna have to get insecticide or something.
そうか。蜂なんて怖くないんだからね。
Bit too late for that one.
Yeah.
もう一匹いる。刺さないってわかるとそんなに怖くないわね。
No, that one's
こ
female.
れも大丈夫なやつでしょ？
That's a giant hornet. It stings. Also, it's poisonous.
Run.
She'll sting you if you shout. Keep quiet. Listen carefully,
Quiet,
Michiru.
scream.
Giant hornets don't just sting. They inject potent venom. Slight discretion, but this thing is called the yak killer because of its poison cocktail.
それ今このタイミングで言うこと。
Don't make any sudden movements. Walk slowly and keep quiet. Fortunately, you're blonde, so your coloration is similar to that of a hornet. In other words, there's no problem if he accepts you as his friend.
本当に？
Oh, offering a bohemian folk dance. Very sensible.
あ、こっちさんカチカチ言ってる。これ友達の証？
No. When they clack their mandibles together like that, it signifies a final warning. If you make any stupid moves, you'll be stung for sure.
お待たせしました。殺虫剤を調合するのに時間がかかってしまって。
You fucking
申し訳
mixed
ありま
it!
せん。
Sachi drags a tank with an atomizing nozzle and hose into this room. It looks like it's designed for spraying agricultural chemicals. Apparently it's full of her own cocktail.
おー、待ってました。早く殺虫剤を。みちる様の周辺を蜂がホバリングしてる。これは私お手製の神経毒が効果を発揮しそうで
That's
すね。
bad.
毒を持って毒を制すというやつです。では、
Pretty sure you'd find that
霧
in
吹きで噴霧
scorpions.
しますので、しばしお待ちを。ちょっと待ちなさい。あんた今何毒って言った？
Neurotoxin. Sounds like it'll take that hornet out for sure.
それをこっちにプシュプシュされたら、まず私がどうにかなっちゃうでしょ。大丈夫です、みちる様。吸い込みさえしなければ問題ありません。いいですか？呼吸を15分ほど止めることはできますよね。さあ、いきますよ。せーの。できないわよ。ねえ、サチ、できないからね。そうですか。では、これは使用できませんね。一発でコロリなんですが、残念です。私がコロリでしょ、それ。ねえ。
We've got to come up with a plan B or this won't end well. That hornet is pretty worked up.
それで、なんでこの蜂、私だけを狙ってるの？
Just what did you do to that poor hornet?
してないと思うよ。だって、私、わかんない。やっぱり髪の毛の色が似てるから？それともツンデレが女王蜂とキャラかぶってるとか？
There's a difference between tsundere and a queen bee. In fact, queen bees tend to not be tsunderes, if anything.
みちる様、やはり一吹きだけでもいかがでしょうか？一吹きでも効果はありますので。効果があったらダメなんだってば。そうですか。今度は低空飛行で飛んでる。
Seems to be aiming at your legs, Michiru. Do you think you'll be needing those in the future?
当たり前でし
What
ょ。
about their legs? They don't need those.
I see.
騒がしいわね。
あ、ユミコ、こっち来ちゃダメ。
え、何？ちょっとわからないんだけど。
いや、そうじゃなくて足元に
待って、朝からあんまり大声出さないで。
Stepped on it.
何？ちゃんと話してくれる？
なんでもないです。
そう。それならいいんだけど。
The squashed hornet stuck flat on to the bottom of her shoe. Skaki walks to her desk and takes out a book. Though the girl glances over you briefly, she soon pulls out her bookmark without another word and begins moving her eyes across the lines of text. Sachi, there's got to be a nest somewhere nearby. I think you could find it and give it a dose of that cocktail of yours.
はい、かしこまりました。つまり、ユミコ最強説ってことね。
Not the type you want to make an enemy of. With this, the hornet incident draws to a close without casualties. Just as they say, times ignorance is bliss. We're on the last glass of fucking wine, so after this glass, I'm probably gonna end the part.
Okay, sounds fair.
I mean, it is a fair assessment considering that we've been recording for what, like 2 hours, 15 minutes now?
Oh, that's pretty good.
We don't want to go through too much without Bud.
Yeah. Yeah, allow Bud to actually be able to catch up on his own work.
The fucking intrusive thoughts came on again.
Okay.
Like, I don't know why I looked over at the Doritos pack and my first thing was just like, I had to just bite the top of it and rip it off with my fucking teeth.
Okay.
I don't know what the fuck my mind was thinking at that moment. Anyways, after middle school, you won't be popular with the girls if all you can do is fight. You need brains too.
Sorry?
Oh no, it just apparently accidentally clicked up to go from OBS instead, which which immediately fucking went away. Was the remove selected source button, and it just didn't get rid of anything because no source was selected. Oh well, nothing's gone. Oh no, hold on. It was something else. I accidentally opened the snipping tool.
Well done.
At middle school, you won't be popular with the girls if all you can do is fight. You need brains too. So my master taught me. So, are you smart then? In response to the obvious question, my master replied that women are more popular if they're a little dim-witted. I think she might have intended it as a joke. Not that it was remotely funny. Master wasn't much of a comedian, but there's one thing I have to thank her for. Specifically, she's the one who really got me hooked on reading. There are a vast number of books in this world, and the majority are interesting in some way. Even if you get stuck with a seriously dull one, if you look at it critically and figure out why it's a failure, the time you spend with it isn't a complete waste. I devoured books like an addict when I was a kid. My master would get me anything I wanted to read, even comics or porn magazines. It's a damn good thing if you can enjoy reading. Why? Lets you make use of the time you spend waiting on in the dentist's office, doesn't it? Am I supposed to laugh now? Not to say I've gained much wisdom from what I've read in waiting rooms, but I think I can at least smile at those words today. Makina, you here? Hey Makina, why aren't you in your own room? Why is there a fucking duck screaming in terror?
Is it made of flesh or is it made of something else? It does not know.
Also, what do you mean? Why isn't she in her own room? There's her fucking crayfish.
Well, you'll get an explanation in a second.
ちゃんとドアに張り紙してあったでしょ。お隣のお部屋にいますって。
Yeah, there was a door on the note on the door. Thing is, the paper was yellowed and wrinkled. There's no telling how long it's been up there. Are you always in Ominous room?
そ そうだね。言われてみればずっといるような気もするのよさ。
Yeah, the room I've just entered is in effect ominous. Looking around, a good half of the room is buried in random junk. Guess Machina has been doing her best imitation of a squirrel preparing for hibernation, exposing things here, little by little with every visit.
立ち話もなんだし、入れよ。
I appreciate the neighborly spirit, but this isn't your room.
アキナ、誰か来たの？はーい、お兄ちゃんが来たのよ。ん？ああ、ユウジくん？何？どうしたの？
Nice. However, at the same time, I'll call bullshit. Because that's not the color strap she has in her usual outfit.
In the uncensored version, she does come out, well, you can guess the rest.
Naked.
Yeah.
Nothing much, just stopped by to lend Machina a book.
何の？
It's for that thing. I point towards one item among Machina's pile of junk, an aquarium containing a crawfish. She asked me if I knew any books with detailed instructions on raising crawfish, so I took a look around a store by the station.
ああ、あんたが原因か、あのザリガニ。この子いきなり部屋に持ってきたかと思えば、青くするって言い出してさ。最初は洗面器に入れてたんだけど、夜中に逃げ出すもんだから水槽セット買う羽目になったのよ。
Sorry about that.
別に責めてるわけじゃないわよ。この子が生き物に興味を持つのは悪くないことだし。
You ever think Machina's a vampire?
What brought that on?
Look at those red eyes.
Are you thinking of Draku Riot again?
Possibly. Can we just talk about that one girl whose mother was like, hey, the guy you like has a girlfriend already? Well, just fucking NDR her! Like, what the fuck was that after story? Like, Jesus Christ, woman, you should not have custody of a child if you're gonna teach her shit like that.
ね、本は？
Here, there's that part about raising crawfish starts on page 38. The last two pages talk about getting them to turn blue.
ありがとう。早速読むのよさ。
As soon as Machina accepts the book from me, she sits down on the spot with a thump and starts to rifle through the pages.
つーかさ、本当に青くなるの？
When I tried this experiment as a kid, there was a range of variation among the individuals, but most of them did turn some shade of blue.
ふん、なんか面白そうね。
By the way, Amine, I have a question of my own. Do you mind?
何さ？
Why exactly are you constantly half naked?
ああ、別にいつもじゃないっていうか、今私シャワー浴びてるところだったのよ。
I see.
つーか、突っ込むの遅くね？
I'll try to work on that. But I mean, I think you do the kya thing and hide your chest before I get a chance to bring it up, usually. I'm no more concerned with my glance than before. Walks briskly to her vanity and flips on the hairdryer.
私って汗っかきでさ、夏場は1日3回ぐらいはシャワー浴びるのよね。
That is excessive. Is your skin alright?
It's true.
Like, she is essentially just getting rid of her entire skin flora.
Yeah.
Which sounds disgusting, but that's important.
Yeah.
It's the reason why you're not actually supposed to fucking shower every fucking day. Like, shower if you sweated a lot. But other than that, every other day is ideal. Like, we're literally taught that in school. In my case. Like...
Really?
Yeah, because, like, if you shower every day, you don't give the skin time to properly regenerate the skin flora. So the only times when you should shower is every other day or on a day where you happen to sweat a lot. Like, we actually just full-on had a fucking hygiene class about that.
We never had anything of the sort.
Might have just been like something random our teacher decided to do, but I don't remember correctly anyway.
Well, right, it
油
was
断し
useful.
てるとおっぱいの下に汗もができたりで大変なのよ。
Just like put fucking tissues under your titties. You know?
That don't think that would quite work.
Sweatbands
There's
for
going to be women in the comments going, "No, don't do that.
titty sweatbands.
That will chafe."
Titty sweatbands.
Is that the episode title?
No, it's not.
I can see Cactus making the ridiculous thumbnail already.
I mean, I'm likely gonna call the video just dog in heat because I can't just put bitch in heat. Actually, no, I'm gonna call it Dogget Fellow. Big tits
Not
are tough in their
barking
own
mad.
way, I see. Nah.
お兄ちゃん、なんか飲む？
Yeah, if you're offering.
じゃあ、ちょっと待っててね。今用意するのよさ。
Like mocking it, like, hey, Onichi, I want a drink. Oh yeah, I guess if you're offering, he walks over to Amina and just grabs her tit. I was in the mood for milk.
I can see them doing this. What makes it funnier? That's what makes it funny. It's so dumb.
Like I said, I want a version of Grisaia with just my unhinged version of Yuji.
Just everything unhinged occurring.
Manga places a book on the floor, opens Amina's refrigerator, and promptly sticks her head in and starts rooting around like she owns the place. It's basically as much her room as Amina's at this point.
なに？なんか言った？
Says your tits look great. Just how long has Makina been hanging around in this room?
そうね。マキナがこの学園に来てからずっとかな。この子、一人だと夜中に大声上げて泣くから。失敬なのよさ。今はもう泣かないのよ。時々自分のお部屋に帰って寝てるもの。月に一度帰るかどうかじゃない。しかも私に怒られた時とかそんな時ばっかり。ねえ、お兄ちゃんはああやって意地悪なことばっかり言う女をどう思う？
They say it's a rare thing to find a woman other than your mother who will nag you. Take good care of her, alright?
もう、お兄ちゃんまでそんなことを言う。随分と住みにくい世の中になったものよさ。飲まなきゃやってられないのよさ。
Cheers? As she speaks, Makina hands me a can of orange juice. Look, Makina, can we do something about this Oni-chan thing?
なんで？
Well, how can I put this? Is it a little awkward?
そのうち慣れると思うのよ。私もマキナって呼ばれるの慣れたし。
Now, what do you mean? You don't like being called by your own name?
実はね、私マキナって名前あんまり好きじゃないのよさ。
Oh, what's that?
なんかマキナってバギナみたいなのよさ。
What?
だからバギナ。
I see. Well, that's certainly a very, feminine name.
でもね、バギーナって言うとなんかアイドルっぽいよね。
Yeah. Whatever you say. Hey, Amane!
何さん？
Is this girl high? Just what are you putting in her food?
失礼ね。何も変なものは食べさせてないわよ。
So she says, but, it was like talking to one of those guys who self-medicate the night before a major operation. I feel like I'm dealing with someone who says things they shouldn't see or hear voice, who sees things they shouldn't see or hears voices they shouldn't hear. Instinctively, I drop my hand onto Makina's head and vigorously ruffle her hair around.
痛えよ
Huh. Your pupils don't look dilated.
そんなに疑うならあんたも食べてく
What?
だから晩ご飯今夜はおでんにするつもりだから人数増えても平気だし
Oh, damn! So I'll never be able to read the word Odin without immediately thinking of something along those lines because the sky's full of stars. I mean, for fuck's sake, one of the soundtracks, like one of the OSTs from the game, is literally just called Odin.
Well,
Like specifically with a
distinctive.
pause between the O and the den, and like I think like 5 E's.
ほほうおでんというと
Why does she look like 10 times more smug than usual when it's that face combined with that pose? Like, what is it? That just amplifies it so much.
Obviously, the artists knew what they were doing.
Yeah. They knew what they were doing. Anyways. Whoops.
違いますあなたが今想像したのは北欧神話の最高神です
How thoughtless. That's low-key disappointing. I've got a noose prepared for me, haven't I?
Oh, you wish it would be a noose. You know, like the commenting on the news is like another layer to the joke. You know. Have you heard? I assume you know the story, right?
Which story is this?
The one where Odin hung himself.
Oh, yeah.
Because fun fact, Norse mythology, at one point Odin wanted to know what the afterlife was like, so he fucking hung himself.
The Norse pantheon was something else again, weren't they?
Which actually makes a point in God of War Ragnarok extremely fucking moot. Since the entire reason why Odin wants to get the mask to gaze into that rift was to learn what waits beyond death for gods. However, he already did the fucking hanging thing.
You could have just had Kratos walk up to him and say, well, how about we find out? I could do
Like,
that
you
for nothing.
specifically find the noose he used to hung himself that Freya used to cast a hex on him right before the final boss fight. Also, fun fact, there's theories that potentially in the actual original version of Norse mythology, Loki was supposed to be a Jesus figure.
Didn't quite work out like that.
Yeah, because now people view him like, yes, he tried to take down an established pantheon, essentially, quote unquote. However, let's be honest, Norse gods were not good.
Yeah, they were all over the place.
Yeah, like, even in the stories, most of them were very bad. A lot of the negative stories about Loki's weren't actually in the original Norse mythology. Like, they were added with the translations. Which essentially turned him into an almost kind of Satan figure instead. Anyways.
ボケをインターセプトされたがっかりなのよさ
The hell?
まあいいからいいから食べていきなさい
Hey!
下手に断ってアマネーに恥かかせちゃダメなのよいいからおいで
Makina seizes my hand and tries to forcibly drag me further inside. Well, alright, fine. There probably won't be anything I dislike in an Odin stew anyways. I'll eat pretty much anything that's put in front of me, but I do have some foods I find a little difficult to deal with on a psychological level.
はいここ座って
Yeah? over the cushion with a cute girly design. I sit down a bit reluctantly. In an instant, Makina has plopped herself down on top of my knees. Look, you, we didn't need this angle.
Be grateful. In the uncensored version, she has a nip out.
Oh,
Or at least you can certainly see it.
Listen, I don't have a full CG to use thus far. Technically, I could use the 3 thugs, but that just feels kind of fucking stupid to use. So
Yeah.
I was just gonna use them marching. I'm still gonna use them marching. I'm not even gonna fucking use this one.
Yeah, this is a bit close to the bone, shall we say.
何さ
Why are you sitting on my lap?
嫌なの
That's not what I'm saying, but that line's familiar. I hadn't realized it until now, but Makina seems to have a habit of imitating ominous speech. Now that I think about it, that you know, she always tags on at the end of her sentence for no particular reason. Seems like it might be corruption of ominous frequent you know. And Makina's forcible tone and attitude towards men also reminds me of a certain someone. They do say pets start to resemble their owners. Someday this girl might well become the sort of evil woman who walks around with her tits hanging halfway out, seducing struggling shopkeepers and giving away their livelihood. Can't have that. To tell the truth, from my current position, Makina's modest breasts are clearly visible. For those of certain tastes, these things might have a power to tempt exceeding that of Amane's oversized udders.
何
Hey, Amane!
何よ今手が離せないんだけど
Why does this girl jump onto men's laps without a second thought? I'm leaning towards blaming you.
はぁ嫌なら下ろせばいいじゃない
I'm not saying you hate it, but if she starts casually hopping on top of strange old men in town, I think we might run into some problems.
大丈夫よ言ったと思うけどマキナって結構人見知りするからっていうかあんたたちいつの間にそんなに仲良くなったの
Well, had a couple of chances to talk recently, I guess.
それにしたってこの子がこんなに早く男の人に懐くのって初めてよあんたマキナに何したの
Well, I got caught by the police in front of her. Does that count? Nothing particularly comes to mind.
男の人とは話すのだって苦手なのにマキナとまともに会話できる男の人って八百屋のおじさんぐらいよ
Is that a fact? So why has Makina gotten so attached to me? I don't remember taming her with food or teaching her dirty games behind mommy's back. Search my memory, but nothing really stands out.
ねお兄ちゃんこれ開けて
Completely disinterested in my rumination, Makina pushes her can of orange juice towards me and tilts her head to the side as she asks for help. It's standard pattern among women playing the moe type who try to tickle the male heart with an appeal to their own helplessness. Makina's fingers are stubby and thin. Wouldn't be surprised if opening a can really was a challenge. Yeah, here you go.
お兄ちゃん何なんかあんたたち本当に仲がいいわねマキナがこんなに人に甘えるのって珍しいわよ
If you tried to pull something like that, I'd probably punch you, right?
なんで私本人に同意を求めるかなそれで私になんて答えろっての
So she doesn't just let just anybody pamper her like that.
そうね私以外にそうやってベタベタすることってほとんどないかな
I see. Whether or not Makina is paying any attention to our conversation about her, she continues to flip through the book on my lap without comment.
もうマキナおっぱい見えてるってばブラしなさいっていつも言ってるでしょだってあれきついのよさきついって言うほど出っ張っちゃいないでしょがあんたいいからおいでもうちょっとで読み終わるのにほら着せてあげるから立ってん
Thank fuck! Ame reaches her hands on the Makina's armpits and forcibly drags her off my knees. Sense of emptiness. Might be going a bit far, but the sudden removal of that limp, warm creature from my lap leaves me feeling slightly lonely.
はいちゃんと自分の足で立つの
Right now. Quick, emergency cat. fucking Amine pulls on a string hanging from the ceiling, and a cat just suddenly drops into his lap.
Or throws herself in his place. Ha! It was all a ruse.
'Twas a ruse, and you fell for it, fool!
It's an elaborate ruse.
もう足踏んでるし。ごめんよ。もうほら、キャミ脱がすから万歳して。万歳。
Hey, how about having her put on clothes? Having her put her clothes on by herself?
この子服着るの下手なのよ。っていうか服が嫌いなのね。病院ではずっとスモックしか着てなかったって言うし。
Gowns.
ほら、病院で手術を受ける人が着るやつ、背中で縛って着るの。
Alright.
あればっかり着てたせいか、ゆるっとした服じゃないと嫌がるし。こうやって誰かが服を着せてあげないとパンツすら履かないのよね。ちょっと。まあね、痛いよ。我慢しなさい。こうやって背中と脇の下から脂肪を寄せ集めてカップに詰めるの。そうすればほら、ちょっと出っ張るでしょ。息苦しいのよさ。女ってのは息苦しいものなのよ。はい、できた。どう？巨乳？
Yeah, they're shockingly big. What do you eat to get a pair like that?
パン？あとイチゴ。そりゃ単純にあんたの好きな食べ物でしょうが。
Someone that likes bread and strawberries best, huh? Kind of a childish taste, but I guess that fits with her personality.
基本的にあんまりご飯食べないのよ、この子。でもなぜかパンと果物だけはよく食べるのよね。パンは硬いパンがいいのよさ。
Hard bread? What's that?
ほら、フランスパンとかドイツの方の硬いパンあるでしょ。
Because you've got
The good ones!
Good bakeries in Germany, don't you?
Yeah. Like, that is consistently the thing I hear every time someone talks about bread. Like, you want good bread? Germany. Like, literally, do you know trash taste, right?
Yeah.
Like, you've heard the fucking bread discussions, right?
I haven't heard the details, but I think you told me about this beforehand some time ago.
Where Gaunt apparently just does not like bread on its own. Like, he will literally just not eat bread on its own.
Yeah.
Like, bread is not a meal for him. He doesn't like bread at restaurants most of the time. And like,
yeah, put some butter on it.
And recently they were like on a big tour, and they were in Germany at one point. And after the fucking tour, Gaunt was just like, "All right, I know when I know when I was wrong. Bread kind of slaps."
But then again, he finally found a place that made some proper bleeding bread.
Like, especially since, like, when it came to bread, he said, like, restaurant. You don't get bread at a fucking restaurant!
No. There's a side with your soup, say, or something along those lines.
Yeah. I opened my fucking browser to try and look for the specific moment, and the first thing I see is that fucking Morgan sent me this picture here.
Stalk deniers be like, must have been sex.
Anyways.
When it comes to bread, though, we actually have our own bread maker. Make our own bread. Saves us a load of money.
I can imagine.
I mean, one of our favourite wheats to use is actually a barley. Now that I think about it, it's Orcadian.
Let me just mute you for a second, because I don't want people to hear the video that I'm about to check out if that's the correct one. So there you go. People won't be able to hear you now, and the game. It is so good. For some reason, immediately after the fucking must have been sex picture, this picture came in just now. And I don't know what she's trying to tell me with this. These are fucking hieroglyphics at this point. Anyways, you can be heard again.
Hello again, audience.
Anyways.
日本人は普通さ、ふわふわでもちもちしたパンが好きなんだけど、なぜかこの子は重くて硬いパンが好きなのよね。
The good type of bread has like a really nice crunchy outside. Right? That's the good shit. Like soft in the inside, like got some nice crunch on the outside.
Yeah.
That's the good shit.
ふにゃふにゃしたパンなんざ歯の悪いグランマの食い物なのよさ。パンはやっぱりどっしりとした重みと歯ごたえがないと美味しくないのよさ。
Also, pre-sliced bread is fucking heresy.
Yes.
Like
It's
literally,
convenient, but it's lazy.
Today I bought some pans for when I move, but even before I bought those pans, I got a fucking deli slicer for my bread.
Yeah, you've told us the story.
Like literally the first thing I got after a kitchen, deli slicer. That deli slicer actually also works on like salami and shit and cheese and shit like that, so I actually got a pretty good one.
That's what it's designed for.
Like, I say deli slicer, but we have it, like, right now, and my family has a bread slicer, and I have a deli slicer.
Well, you have to differentiate the two.
Yeah.
まあ、朝はあんまり食べたがらないんだけど、チーズとハムとレタスをライ麦パンに挟んだサンドイッチならもりもり食べるわよ。
What do you mean not good in the morning? Let's see.
ねえ、あまね。私、もう本読んでいい？いいわよ。ちゃんと床に座って読みなさい。ユージくんの膝の上でジュースこぼしたりしないように。
You don't have it easy, do you, Amane?
まあ、手のかかる子だけど、そこが可愛いって思えばあまり苦にはならないし、変な子だなとは思うけど、これがあの子の素の状態なのよね。
I'm the sort who tend to suspect the girls purposefully. I'm the sort who tend to suspect the girls purposefully acting younger than her age to take advantage of her childish looks. But in this case, I don't think I can disagree. It really is just how she is.
それにね、あの子自分で自分のことバカだって言うけど、そんなに頭が悪いわけじゃないのよ。むしろ私なんかよりずっと頭いいんだから。
Well, I suppose if we use you as a standard, the gap isn't quite that dramatic, but...
失礼な。というか、マキナを侮っちゃダメよ。証拠見せてあげようか？
Demonstration.
マキナ、ちょっとおいで。なんなのよさ。あんたその本読み終わった？そうね、大体は。じゃあその本ちょっと貸してみ。問題出してあげる。いいけど。
Amane takes the book from Makina and promptly hands it over to me.
ね、そんじゃ161ページ。動物の進化シリーズ、大型恐竜の時代、中生代ジュラ紀。約1億4600年前から2億年前。中生代第2の時代はジュラ紀と呼ばれ、恐竜の時代としてよく知られている。三畳紀に出現した恐竜たちは数多くの種を生み出し、その繁栄は後の白亜紀まで続く。あれ？これってザリガニの本じゃないの？
It's a general book of animals aimed at children. There's a lot of stuff in there as well. Open the book Amane handed me to page 161. Spread across both pages a colorful illustration of a plesiosaurus with words and a bold white typeface printed all around it.
内容は合ってる？
She was indeed. Without even a single misplaced word.
じゃあ次は29ページ。そこは広告ページ。
合文社の子供の学習シリーズ、働く自動車、神秘の世界宇宙、野鳥で見る環境科学、絶滅した愉快な動物、日本の工場、コンタクトレンズができるまで、土と微生物の働き、有機栽培の野菜作り。
じゃあ86ページは？
猫より犬の方が賢いって本当？犬の種類の多様性は他の種をはるかにしのぎ、多岐にわたる。長年人間の手によって交配されてきた犬の歴史は、狩猟用や刀剣用や愛玩用とさまざまなバリエーションを生み出し、今なおその種を増やし続けている。
どう？合ってるでしょ？
He's correct, alright.
どうよ、すごくない？この短時間でパラパラっと流し読みしただけで、あの本の内容丸々一冊全部覚えちゃったんだよ。天才じゃない？
Yeah, it's pretty amazing to be sure.
あれ？あんまり驚いてないね。
Mark and I've got a question. Do you remember the photograph of a bird on page 144?
覚えてるのよ。
What color is it?
わかんない。
If you say blue, you'd sort of... If I say blue, you'd sort of think blue. If I say red, you get the feeling it might be red. Thought so.
なーに？どういうこと？
Seems like Makina memorizes the pages in monochrome. Loses the color information.
え？
Easier to memorize it quickly that way, right?
そういうことなのよさ。
いや、ごめん。私にはさっぱりわからない。
To tell the truth, my sister had the exact same skill. I first noticed my big sister's speed reading when she was 7 years old. Watching her flip through a stack of books from the school library incredibly quickly, I couldn't suppress my curiosity. Can you really read them like that? My sister answered, I'm not reading them, but I'm memorizing the contents, in a perfectly casual tone of voice. Completely incredulous, I tested my sister on the spot. Exactly like Amane did with Makina just now. I gave her a page number and asked her to read me back the contents. And of course, she remembered every single word. According to her, it's much faster to memorize the books when they're in black and white. When dealing with books where color information wasn't important, she could even memorize 2 pages simultaneously using her left and right eye. I was totally dumbfounded at the time. 4 years later, by the time she was 11, my sister was managing rapid memorization of color books as well. And thanks to long hours of practice, her left and right eye could actually memorize separate books simultaneously. Hearing that went past the level of surprise, it was outright terrifying. Basically, she's not reading the book. She's recording the pages as an image in the right side of her brain. When you ask her about the contents, she reproduces the image of her right brain and reads it by unconsciously interpreting the characters with the left brain. Sound about right, Makina?
そうそう。うまく説明できないけど、そういうことなのよさ。
わかんないな。具体的にはどうやってるの？
I don't know the details myself, but it's basically looking at the page as a picture instead of lines of character and saving a mental snapshot. Ignoring the meaning, she processes it rapidly as light information that draws out the meaning later on if she needs it. To put it more simply, it's sort of like she's downloading a compressed file to her hard drive and extracting what she needs later, I guess.
何それ？つまり本を読み終わった時点では本の内容を知らないってこと？
Yeah, exactly.
私の一番の問題は、一度覚えたはずなのに、その記憶をどこにしまったか忘れちゃうことなのよさ。
ダメじゃん。
Even if you can record something in your mind, your memory as a whole can still be a disorganized mess. Apparently, you can work on that by training your synapses.
どうやって？
If you repeatedly memorize the same information, it stimulates your synapses and makes it harder to forget. My sister would record the same image 8 times over before she turned the page. Other than that, you can also memorize while moving your body in specific ways, which ties the image of your procedural memory and makes it more durable.
よくわかんねえ。
It's fine. Not like there's any reason to have you turn into a genius like that.
そうそう。天才になったところで 得られるのは賞賛じゃなくて敵意と嫉妬だって言うじゃない？
Ah, hiccups. Who's they? Where'd you hear that?
あー、誰だっけ？なんかの本で読んだような気がするけど覚えてないわ。
ねえ、あまね、ザリガニに餌あげる時間だよ。
はいはい、今缶詰開けてあげるからちょっと待ってなさい。
Just, okay, I guess I'll be going back to my room, but as the words start to leave my mouth, Makina firmly grabs hold of my hand.
座って一緒に本を読んでほしいのよさ。
Didn't you finish already?
そうだけど一緒にいてほしいのよさ。ダメ？
Nah, that's not really what I meant.
知ってる？女には男に甘えたい日があるものなのよ。
Oh, that's the first I've heard of it.
それがなんと今日なのよさ。だから甘えさせてくれなきゃダメなのよ。
See, guess there's no helping it then. I want to be spoiled, so better spoil me. What an unreasonable demand. If this was Anamine, I think I would laugh in her face, call her an idiot, and finish things off with a poke to the forehead. But for some reason, when Makina gets all clingy, it's a bit difficult to fight back. Can't get myself to be too hard on her. Maybe it's because she looks and acts like a child. Soft on children. Well, that isn't a bad thing by any means. But I'm probably the type who dies first when a terrorist starts strapping bombs to dirt kids. But now that I think about it, it's not like you're really that much younger than me, are you? Don't give me that puzzled face.
まあまあ、ほら、こっち来て座って。そして抱っこしてちょうだい。
She really does remind me of my niece.
Just for the record, today is a one-time deal. Don't think I'll let you cling to me whenever you want.
お兄ちゃんってば本当にツンデレなんだから。
Again with this. I'd never really given the matter any thought, but could it be that I really am a tsundere? I mean, can we define the term first? Isn't the tsundere a subspecies of a woman that's usually prickly and harsh, but then goes all gooey and sweet for some reason? In that case, I don't get it. When exactly have I ever been in that saturine, lovey-dovey mode? Huh, I'll come to think of it. Letting Makina occupy my knee like this, I have to admit my aura of masculinity seems to have faded a bit. But it is merely an expression of the magnanimous spirit towards the young. It's not like I'm giving her lap access because I personally enjoy having her there or anything.
そうだねえ、ユージくん。
What?
そういえばさ、ザリガニの餌ってサバの水煮缶でもいいのかな？
Yeah, basically anything without carotene in it is fine.
おや？
What's that supposed to mean? What is it already? You're making me ill. If you have something to say, how would you say it?
いやー、なんかもうすっかり懐いてるなーと。いいな、羨ましい。
You're the one who told me to make friends with Makina, you know.
やだな、別に責めてないじゃない。でも正直こんなに早く馴染むとは思ってなかったからちょっと意外かな。あれ、マキナ寝ちゃった？
Say what?
I thought she'd been unusually quiet for a few seconds there, but
At some point, Makina's eyes have fallen shut. Still sitting on my lap, her head is jerking back and forth with her breathing. Sure, she was awake just a minute ago.
ああ、マキナはね、たまにあるのよ。そうやって突然寝ちゃうことが。
Come to think of it, that was that time I found her in the rose garden unconscious in the bushes. Frequent occurrence?
まあ、頭をたくさん使った時とかたまにね。さっき本を読んでたからそれが原因かも。その子、放っておくと1日14時間ぐらい眠るのよ。
Maybe doesn't remind you of a cat, doesn't she?
時々立ったまま寝ちゃうことがあって、そのまま倒れて頭を打ったりするから気をつけないといけないんだけど、今日はユージくんの膝の上で助かったわ。ユージくんのこと、相当気に入ってるみたいね。
I'll get it.
I could attach to someone like me.
そう私にはなんとなくわかるような気もするな。そう例えばさユージ君はマキナのことを見てかわいそうな子だなって思う？
No, can't say it does. More like what a hopeless kid. Can't say I've ever felt pity for her.
でしょ。まずはそれが一番の理由じゃないかな。
Is there a number two reason?
そうね。ユージ君本人はあんまり自覚がないかもしれないけどユージ君ってマキナのこと嫌いじゃないでしょ？っていうかちょっと可愛いと思ってない？
I'm not sure about that one, but I definitely don't hate her. That said, I think I've thought of her as annoying more often than cute. Maybe you got the wrong idea about me, Namine, but I tend to say things what I think, even to kids. When Makina annoys me, I tell her straight out.
そうやってマキナが膝の上で寝ちゃってるのにどかそうともしない人の言うことじゃないよ、それ。
That's... well, I just don't have any real reason to wake her up at the moment, I guess.
でもまあ、そうだね。変に我慢して同情されるより、はっきりと言ってくれる人の方がわかりやすいのね、マキナには。
Don't treat her gingerly out of sympathy. If she does something truly stupid, I don't overlook it out of pity. Makina actually prefers it that way. Is that what she's saying?
それでいて、結局はマキナに甘いしね。そりゃ懐くわよ。
I'm sweet to her?
まあいいんじゃない？そういうらしくないところも含めてユージ君なんだしさ。
Since when are you such an expert on my character?
マキナ起きた？
私また寝ちゃってた。
まあ15分ぐらいかな。何か夢を見た？
覚えてない。
そっか。じゃあはいこれ。
何？
サバ缶だよ。ザリガニに餌をあげるんでしょ？
そっか。さあたくさん食べてまるまると太るのよ。
He's got it tottering around. Is that a good idea?
いつものことだし平気よ。
これ味がしないのよさ。
You're sure about that? She seems to be eating from the can of crawfish food.
いつものことだし平気よ。
Now it kind of feels like you don't really give a damn.
それもいつものことよ。
My throat sticks shut halfway through my attempt at a laugh, and I'm sent into a coughing fit.
ちょっと大丈夫？
I'm gonna grasp a half-finished can of orange juice Makina left lying on the table and hands it over to me. I gulp the contents immediately. I'm fine. I'm as terrible at laughing as I am at smiling, also par for the course.
それはいつか直してあげなきゃね。
Fix? How's that necessary in the first place? Is a crappy smile really something you can fix?
まあとりあえずあんたの作り物っぽい笑顔とマキナのデタラメな言葉遣いを直してあげるのが私の当面の目標かな。
私の言葉遣いのどこがおかしいっていうのよさ。
まず自分の言葉遣いがおかしいってことに本人が気がついていないってのが一番の問題よね。
うっさいしゃくれ。
あんたなんやその口の利き方。しゃくれてへんわほんで。こんこはほんま。これ待ち。いやーダメー。こんこはほんま。誰に似たんか口の悪い。ええ加減にせんとお口縫うてまうよ。
そんなに強く引っ張ったらダメなの。
Every once in a while, you'll find a person with a bad habit they're not even aware of until someone points it out to them. Watching the scene, I've had my suspicions once more confirmed. Makina's strange quirks seem to be partially the result of contamination from Amina's less admirable habits. But as a humble and discreet gentleman, I'm frankly at a loss as to whether to disrupt the status quo by performing Amane of the log in her eye. My deeply ingrained pain in the ass warning system is also kicking in. There's a good chance the messenger is going to get killed on this one, so my lips are remaining sealed for the moment. Human mind is a well-designed piece of machinery. It has ways to cope with the coexistence of such pros and cons, truths and fictions. When your mind finds itself facing a contradiction, your thoughts tend to fly off in completely unrelated directions. It's a self-defense mechanism, just like the burning need to clean that always pops up in the night before the big test. So before I realize it, my attention has been drawn to the pleasant rattling sound of something boiling in the pan. The wooden's broth's smooth, flavorful smell tickles my nose. Man, I'm hungry! In the end, it would be another 30 minutes before I ate my dinner that day. And that entire scene actually took like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
状況セーブ
Also, what the fuck?
Strange floating noise.
No, like when I reach a specific point, it like rapidly selects and doesn't select it.
Deselects,
Seems.
yeah. Maybe they put the
Yeah, I think they put the senses
Individual
on the individual
letters, yeah.
lines of the save.
yeah.
状況
Fucking weird.
セーブ
Anyway. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Just want to see you next.
Take care, guys.
Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Just want to see you next time. Bye bye. Goddamn hiccups.